Welcome to Delta Green, Impossible Landscapes, brought to you by Black Project Gaming. Get read in at blackprojectgaming.com. I'm Vince, your host and handler for this campaign. Joining me are Brett as DEA Special Agent Michael Witwer, also known as Agent Vega, Cami as FBI Special Agent Geneva Brown, also known as Agent Venus, Doug as FBI Special Agent Mark Hansom, also known as Agent Meshach, and Jack as FBI Special Agent Cassandra Troy, also known as Agent Madison. Impossible Landscapes is a campaign of wonder, horror, and conspiracy, written by Dennis Detwiller for Delta Green, the role-playing game. For more information on Delta Green, please visit delta-green.com. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Yeah, so last session of our next chapter of Impossible Landscapes, you all, well, Madison and Meshach, Cassandra Troy, and Mark Hansom, you came to, after your quote-unquote escape from Dorchester House in an abandoned home in what you quickly determined to be a suburban Boston neighborhood. Shortly thereafter, Geneva Brown, Agent Venus, and Michael Witwer, Agent Vega, also found themselves coming to in the same room after having been gone for months, and with no recollection of where they've been or how they got to where they are. And you all eventually crossed paths after looking around the neighborhood a little bit. Mark and Cassie, you kind of turn around to see Geneva and Michael coming out of this house that you just exited. And of course, suspicion and paranoia abounded. We'll go with that. Paranoia and suspicion were in great supply, and you all kind of just touched base and really felt each other out to see what you all knew. And it was during that time that you all started to learn what sort of gifts and insights you now found yourselves dealing with after, your time in the night floors and the night world. For instance, Cassie, you have found that you all are always in possession of a copy of The King in Yellow, also known as the Red Book. Geneva, so far, you've been experiencing hallucinations of people in the distance that appear to almost be, or literally are, marionettes. Mark, you're seeing things that are somehow connected to the King in Yellow, lit by this spectral light. And Michael, you know how, anytime anyone mentions the name of a demon, you know instinctively where and when to find that demon.
I think Michael still thinks it's because I'm pretty sure Cassandra is the only person who's done it to him.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think he still thinks she's like a witch and is cursing him. He has no idea that it has anything to do with him.
That is entirely possible. And Cassie, another thing that you learned was you now have this overriding, overpowering certainty that you need to find the bottle belonging to the author of The King in Yellow, travel to the palace in Carcosa, and find Abigail right there. Otherwise, you will become ghosts doomed to haunt the night world forever, and nothing is true except out is through. You all kind of got your bearings. You got some medical supplies to help take care of Mark, who was still bearing the wounds of his encounter with the clown beneath the Dorchester House. And in that time, Geneva and Michael went back to their old room at the Boxer Hotel, only to find that it had been completely filled with boxes, which was strange and random, that were filled with all sorts of manner of junk and detritus. But shortly thereafter, you reconvened, and as you all started to kind of formulate or attempt to formulate a plan forward, with Mark bringing up potentially going back to Dorchester House, only to be for Geneva and Michael and I believe Cassie as well, to quickly say that's not happening. Not sure if a plan has been developed yet, but if one was, that was quickly dashed by Mark realizing that the TV in your shared hotel room was lighting up like a beacon. And when you turned it on, you saw news reports that all four of you were now wanted by law enforcement after having escaped from the Dorchester House facility and were rumored to be armed and extremely dangerous. And that is where we actually left off. So, does anybody have any questions?
Did the broadcast tell us why we were wanted aside from the escape?
Nope, just that you were violent inmates that had been committed to the Dorchester House facility, and you had escaped.
Okay, and I don't remember if I don't think I have my phone. No, I would have had my phone on me when we went in because I didn't put it in the locker. I don't remember if I brought it back out though, out of the.
I think we rolled, right?
So I allowed Geneva and Michael to roll because the circumstances of your incarceration were vastly different.
Okay.
And I believe Geneva, at the least, I believe you both actually have your weapons and your phones.
Yeah, I think we rolled pretty well for those.
But Mark and Cassandra, unfortunately, the only thing you really have on you are your wallets and your identification as law enforcement.
Then I'd say as soon as we start to see that, Cassandra would turn towards Geneva. Do you have a phone?
Yes. Why?
And she gestures towards the TV that is now showing their mugshots, apparently, that they don't realize that they took, or at least we never took these mugshots, right? Or they.
Nope. And somebody roll a search roll. Actually, I think I may have made you do this last time. I can't remember or not, but somebody just roll search for shits and giggles.
I've got a 73, if that matters.
Yeah, go for it.
Did it go through?
It did not. There we go. Oh, 61 out of 73. Great. So what you notice, each photo of the four of you, you're standing there with an empty expression wearing normal clothing, and it looks like each of you is carrying an object like a bottle that's cut off by the cropping of the photograph. And of course, like you said, nobody remembers taking that photo, although it does appear completely real and relatively recent.
Just look up our names. Just see why this is happening.
I'll take out my phone and do a quick Google search for myself.
Okay. So the news reports are all kind of annotated as being developing and will be updated as further information is received. But for the most part, they're pretty bare bones and don't contain anything other than what's already been related in the news broadcast, which is that you all were inmates in the Dorchester House psychiatric facility, having been previously incarcerated there, although it doesn't say for a specific offense or a specific event, incident, what have you. Just that you had been determined to be criminally insane and had been incarcerated there for your treatment, and you had escaped and were believed to be both armed and extremely dangerous.
And if I search for myself, I'm going to find essentially the same stuff.
Correct. Yeah. The odd thing for both of you especially is that nobody mentions the fact that any of you are law enforcement.
Okay. That's odd. Should I text like a family member or something and see if they've heard of anything, have any further information?
I wouldn't. You don't want to get them anywhere near this.
Oh, my mom is probably freaking out.
Better to be freaking out and ultimately ignorant of whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, you're right. What do we do?
While they're looking up on their phones, Cassandra is going to go ahead and go through her copy of The King in Yellow to see if there's any dialogue that relates to this happening, essentially, or even at least hints at it.
Definitely not. So it is different from the play that you had initially found in the McAllister building a few years back, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, and going through it, you don't even find dialogue related to that first piece of, that scene that you had initially found, if you remember, the one that actually you all had performed in that dark theater in the night floors in the McAllister building. That's not even in there. This is new and completely different. Character names that you don't recognize, events you don't recognize, but nothing that speaks to your current situation. No.
Okay.
Out of character, I think where we landed, I don't remember if everyone agreed or if it was just Geneva's suggestion was that we were going to track down Barbas. Is that right?
Okay, that might be.
Okay,
yeah, that was what Mark's priority.
Well, Barbas is no, wait, I think I'm getting him confused. Barbas is not the guy who does the phone calls, right?
No, that's Bale.
Bale, right? Sorry, I knew I wasn't right on that. Yeah, Michael is 100% behind whatever Geneva suggests.
Cool, because he was the guy who got the 4 OG PCs to go to the Dorchester House, right? And we figured out that he knows something, and he's like potentially targeting Delta Green agents specifically for whatever reason, and luring them there seems to be.
Yeah, and he's also been around for a very long time, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
My mistake with my notes is I write them down on physical paper and then I lose that paper. And then I can't find it.
Get it.
I do that sometimes too. I do it both with physical paper and digital paper. And I don't mark what's where. It's great.
That's right. So yeah, Venus and Vega, Geneva and Michael, you were actually sent to Boston to investigate Barbas specifically. And it was through the course of that investigation you found that bureau file from France, the dossier, and the photo of Barbas from a time that he shouldn't have even been alive.
Right. Okay.
And that's right. You actually went back to the Boxer Hotel to try to find that file, and nothing, like, it was filled with boxes.
Right. Okay. That's correct.
Okay. Want to make sure I was remembering correctly.
Yeah. So then when
Michael asks what we should do, she kind of has a long pause, weighing their options before just saying, we need to find Barbas and get some answers.
Okay, understood.
To be clear, he is also considered a vector at this point, and we need to deal with that. And she kind of looks at both Mark and Cassandra, and she wants to gauge their reaction to that.
I think Mark's still pretty out of it. He's just trying to catch up.
Yeah, Cassandra doesn't react like she's offended at all. It's more she's processing. I would actually say that she's still looking at the broadcast and looking at it, even though probably the bulletin is already passed and maybe there's like some commercial playing, but still looking at the TV with the open copy of the book in her lap, just like staring at it, hoping to find some answers in whatever's playing on the screen.
Roll sanity for me.
Yeah, go for it.
Also, I think we should just acknowledge how useful Mark's ability is. Of all the abilities, it is the one that will let Vince give us information when we're too stupid to find it on our own. I love it.
Why do you think I gave it to him?
That's smart thinking.
That's a 64 out of 28.
God, you... Okay. Roll 1d4.
Wait, 28? Holy shit.
I'm not well.
No, you are not.
You lose 6 sanity.
Love that for me.
As you begin reviewing this red book and begin studying this play, and you feel these fingers sliding into and gripping the curvature and the grooves and the valleys of your brain. This tingling sensation like something is in there and an itch you just can't scratch. As if you're reading a piece of yourself.
Yeah, with that, I'm 3 points below my breaking point.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Do you project?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
As your handler, I strongly recommend you project right now.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I'm taking this. I'm taking this.
I got it.
I'm riding this all the way to 0. Yeah, and so I can't obviously project on Mark or Jenny anymore, right? So those would just be 0.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Who's Ira?
Ira's dead.
Yeah. Yes. I technically can't.
Oh,
you
I can push
project.
out on Mark. Not. I guess. Sorry, I confused the names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can push that out on Mark, but I can't push that on Ira. Got it.
Or your son.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh fuck. I'm going to push that on him because she's been closer to Mark in a weird way, and it just makes sense that she hasn't seen her son in a long time, and it, yeah, I'll do that. How many?
Okay.
Just so I subtract 4 from that.
Nope. So this is what we do. So since it's been a minute, because you just continue to eat sanity loss, which I love. So to project on a bond, go ahead and roll 1d4. 2. Okay. So you lose that much willpower, and you reduce your sanity loss by that much, so you only lose 4 versus 6.
Okay.
Does that still below your breaking point?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 1 below my breaking point.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, okay. I gotta refresh my.
Let's go, handler. Let's go.
Starting off strong here.
Starting off real good. So hitting your breaking point.
Take your time.
Yeah, sorry, it's been a minute. When is the last time we've had somebody hit their breaking point?
I think I lost my break. I passed my breaking point last session, or at least the session we were in the asylum.
I think
Joe
did.
Joe did too. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
So good news. You don't incur temporary insanity because the loss wasn't 5 or more, but you do get a new disorder. So reset your breaking point to your current sanity minus your power.
Ooh, okay.
And
For real,
then-
though, what happens when you get to 0? Because I feel like we're not super far away from seeing that happen.
So my current sanity points are 24.
Okay.
My power is 12.
So your new breaking point will be 10. Or I'm sorry, no, 24 minus 12, you said?
Yes.
It'd be 12.
Yeah, great.
Hachi Machi.
Hachi Machi.
Oh man.
That's
Also, don't you replace one of your motivations with a mental disorder?
You do. Yep.
Yeah.
If you still have any motivations.
Yeah, no, she has no motivations.
She's
So,
unmotivated and disordered.
yeah.
So
Relatable, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
we can take our time and you can take your time and we can come up with one later depending on how things shake out. But yeah. What were your current disorders anyway?
Addiction.
Roll sand for me. Actually, yeah, roll sanity.
Wow, okay. Success.
Wow.
Okay, 6 out of 24. Jesus. You feel that familiar creep that you need a hit of something. But this play is all you can really focus on, and that urge, strangely enough, just kind of subsides, even as you feel yourself almost overpowered and overwhelmed by the sensation that the play is reading you as much as you're reading it. And you forget that urge is even there.
Yeah, I'd say that those who are in the room who have been watching or can now see Cassie see that her eyes start to slowly fall from the TV and her head drops down, and in this sort of like Samara Sakura from the Ring, her hair just falls over her face and kind of conceals the book that's on her lap, and it's just this shield of hair concealing her face and the book in her lap, just hiding her vision from everything else but that.
Geneva
yeah.
kind of has a hand on her gun. She's not pulling it out, but she's observing this, and she has a hand there. She kind of looks at Mark almost to see if he's going to say or do anything, but...
Yeah, Mark, before this whole sanity roll thing happened, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do this. And then you were like, oh, roll sand. I'm like, oh, crap. Yeah. Mark goes over to Cassie and grabs the book out of her lap.
Cassie, do you try to resist?
Oh, absolutely. If he tries to take it, if he like as soon as I see his fingers, I will just like without moving my body or my head, just try to reach out for his wrist and hold it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do either competing athletics or competing unarmed combat, whichever one you respectively want to roll.
I will go for unarmed combat.
So will I.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, that's a failure for me. 81 out of 66. And a success for Cassie.
Cassie with a 27 out of 64. Yeah, Mark, as you reach out to try to grab that book, you don't know how she can be that strong considering how skinny and how, I don't want to say wasted away she looks, but almost like a shadow of a human being. But this grip, and she is not letting this thing go.
And I'd say too that the rest of her body just doesn't move. He would just see that her arm just reaches out and just hold it in place.
Cassie, listen, this book, it is from the devil. You gotta let it go.
She takes a few moments. She doesn't say anything. You just sort of see her back, very giving these kind of these shallow breaths, and they calm down. And she relaxes her grip around your wrist, but she doesn't say anything.
Cassie, close the book, please. I ain't gonna make you, but it's for your own good.
Handler.
Yeah.
Would I, given the strength that this thing seems to have over Cassie, would rolling some kind of power check be reasonable to like snap myself back into the present?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Go ahead and roll power. Times 5, yeah, whatever your power times 5 is. You got to get under that. Yeah, 83 out of 60. You could probably close it, and you could probably stop reading it for now, but you definitely don't want to relinquish it.
Yeah. Yeah, so as Mark steps away a bit, but I assume still hovering just to watch her, with Mark on her periphery and the other two presumably watching, she takes a few more moments before very slowly brushing her hair back away from her face and kind of putting it one side behind her ear and folding the book closed with her other hand, still looking at it with her hand on top of the cover. But everyone now can see her face and see that she's just got this almost hopeless expression on her face. It's this mix of hopelessness and fascination.
Michael has been... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say Michael has been watching the interaction rather intently, but his eyes keep flicking back to Geneva, almost for like cues on what to do, but he's got his hand on his gun.
Yeah, and Mark just says, Cassie, I'm not going to ask you to get rid of it because you've already proven that you can't do that, but the thing is, it's getting to you. You can see that, can't you?
We're not getting out of this alive.
There are worse things than dying, Cassie. And that book leads straight to a lot of them.
We should go. We should do something.
Go where? Do what?
And with that, Cassie looks up from the book for the first time in a while and looks up over at Geneva and Michael. You were trying to find someone.
We were going to go track down Dr. Barbas.
Let's go to him.
Can I do a human check on Cassie really quick? I think out of character I know the answer, but just in character I think Geneva. She wants to see if Cassie's suggestion of that seems to be coming from something else suggesting it to her, since she stared at that book for a long time and was like, we should go do this. I think that raises Geneva's hackles a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Nope, failure.
Yeah, 84 to 62. It's that's a hard one. That's a hard one to tell.
I think at that point, Michael is going to turn to Geneva and go, can we have a word out in the hall, please?
Yeah, she nods and follows you out.
He's going to look back at the other two and go, don't go anywhere. Step out into the hall. But he says it like more serious than I just did. Don't go anywhere. There, that's good. I mean, flexes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so when they step out into the hall, he's going to kind of lean closer to her and whisper, you can't be thinking of taking that woman with us.
The other option is to leave her unattended.
That's not the only other option.
Yeah, she kind of looks to the side. You can tell that she knows. She knows exactly what you're suggesting, and she's probably thought of it herself. It may come to that. I don't think any of us have a chance, really, at this point, but we should take her with us for now, but...
Listen, I know we're already fucked. I know that. I can feel that. But there are options for us to get more fucked. Things can always get more fucked. And her, that woman in there, she's a quick ticket to that. She is out of her fucking mind, Geneva.
Oh, I know. I know she is.
Okay. You know I trust you.
I know. And as fucked as this sounds, as long as she reads the book and gets whatever information she can from it, it means we don't. I have a feeling very soon we are going to have to. But for right now, I think we stand together.
Okay, I'll follow your lead. But I want it noted. When this turns to shit, I fucking told you so. And he'll open the door for her.
Yeah, she'll head back
So
in.
when those guys leave the room... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, what were Mark and Cassie doing while they're having that conversation out in the hall?
I mean, given his rather ominous statement of leaving the room right after this happened, can I hument Michael? Does he? What's the why? Why are he and Geneva going out and talking like this into the hall?
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll.
All right.
You may not learn what you think you'll learn, but
yeah.
38. 38 out of 84. So considering you know really so little about these people and you haven't really been working with them, I mean, not even 24 hours yet. Mm-hmm. You pretty much chalk it up to the fact that, these are obviously people who have been working together for a while. They were in the same cell. They obviously trust each other far more than they currently trust you or Cassie. So whatever it was, maybe not so much. You don't detect hostile intent, but of course, I mean, you obviously pick up on distrust.
Yeah, I mean, the whole.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can I give him like a vague emotional impression he might pick up? Because I also don't think Michael's doing a super good job of covering it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you can tell that Michael is terrified.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And his like, if you had any sort of like social skills, his bravado or whatever is like a pretty thin veneer for that.
Yeah. Mark is a very good reader of people.
So he might be a little on the edge.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Mark, as they go out into the hall, Mark turns to Cassie and he says, Cass, I don't think those folks trust us all that much.
They don't have a reason to.
Well, right now, I'm hurt. You're sick. We are dependent on them.
Cassie just starts to look away. Her eyes start to drift towards the curtains in the window. And she's just looking out through the window. Not at anything in particular, but just looking at, almost giving it sort of like it's like the last cityscape that she's ever going to see. This may be her last day alive, is what's going through her mind right now. And so she's taking even the most mundane things about the Boston skyline in and just letting that take her over and it starts to tune Mark out, and she just surrenders to that feeling.
And I'd say, go ahead.
Mark's gonna reach out and put his hand on Cassie's shoulder. He says, "Look, Cassie, you and me, we're the only ones left. They're gone. We don't have Ira to look out for us anymore. We are going to have to get out of this. And those two people are the only ones who can help us.
If it helps, we're the only two who have experienced what we've experienced and know as much as we do. If they want to get out of this alive, then maybe they should learn to listen to us. Listen to you, at least.
Cassie, I need you with me on this. I'm not sure I'm strong enough to do it by myself.
With that, she turns back towards Mark and looks him in the eyes, and her eyes, which are always that very crystalline blue, but over the years have become yellowed and hazy, and bleary, look surprisingly clear. And she doesn't look sad. She doesn't look happy. It's not an eerie blankness, but just almost a contentness, a resignation. She looks at him, and I'm here. I'm here with you.
You know, for a second there, I believe you. You came back. Cassie, I don't think you know how beautiful you can be. You just got to hold on to that.
And at this point, the door opens, and Michael and Geneva step back into the hotel room.
So, Dr. Barbas, everyone ready?
Am I? I was really hurt.
Yeah, so I know you were healed a little bit by Cassie's first aid, but where are you at right now?
I'm at 8 out of 14.
Yeah, you're hurt, but you're gonna need to rest if you want to try to recoup any more.
Okay.
Mechanically, how long would you have to rest to at least get to?
Well, let's see here. I mean, obviously, ideally, he'd get to a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last time we went to a hospital, things didn't go so well. So
Yeah. So a patient who rests in a safe place with proper food and water can attempt a con times 5 test once per day to recover 1 hit point. On a critical success, the patient regains 1d4. So 8. So 14. So 6 days.
All right.
Oh man, Delta Green. You're just what I expected.
Brutal.
That is brutal, man.
I mean,
But willpower points. So in terms of willpower points, I'm down to 9 out of 14 on those as well.
Okay.
Is that just a matter of sleeping, or
That's just a matter of sleeping. Yeah.
I thought that was just a matter of sleeping. Yeah. Okay. So, and I mean, we have not rested a full day yet.
No.
Oh,
No.
I thought we did for some reason. Okay, yeah. Then she would not have suggested, let's go. She'd probably say something a little bit more like, we'll go get Barbas in the morning or something like that.
yeah, because I think what had happened, we found you all in the morning in that house.
You had. Yep.
And then we went and checked into the hotel, and then while we were in there, you guys were.
That's
checking out.
right.
Yeah. I think it's like probably evening now, right?
Oh yeah, it's night at this point.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Look, right now might be a little bit soon. Can we at least get a good night's sleep?
Yeah, sorry, out of character, she would not have suggested right now.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that we hadn't actually slept. For some reason, I thought that this was like the next morning. So.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no, it's that evening. It's like the 10 o'clock news is when you caught the report that you all wanted.
Yeah, so she would come out and say, we should rest up. We'll have to see if we can track Barbas down in the morning.
Do we just have one room here?
You got 2, I believe.
Okay. Right. Well, I guess. Well, yeah. Tell you the truth, I am plumb tuckered. Can we? How are we gonna do this, Michael? Should you and I share a room?
He starts to open his mouth to say absolutely not, but stops himself and looks at Geneva.
I think that'll work. She kind of gives you a reassuring little nod.
He narrows his eyes.
Hey, look, at least it's not Cassie, okay?
Yeah. He'll turn back and go, yeah, sure.
She'll look at Cassie and have kind of a tight but not like fake smile, just a tight one. You good to bunk with me tonight?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Well, then let's get some sleep, everyone.
As you all go your separate ways, with Mark and Michael in one room, Geneva and Cassie in the other. Let's start with Mark and Michael. Do you all do anything, talk about anything, or do you all just essentially hit the rack and try to get some sleep?
I don't think Michael's gonna try and engage Mark in conversation. He's probably just gonna like do his fitness and like beauty regime before bed with the products that are available in the hotel.
Which ain't much, but I guess better than nothing.
Yeah.
Mark is a lot less talkative than normal, which is still pretty talkative. But I don't know that there's anything of significance that he's going to try and discuss right now. He's just kind of trying to relax. So mostly, happy chatter. What kind of football team do you like?
I say a name of a football team. And it's a small Midwest one.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've I've been living the last few years up in Buffalo, man. It's hard to get behind that team, but you do the best you can. I mean, it's always. And Mark will just keep going.
Yeah. Michael says something non-committal about it's not about how often they win. It's something sports.
There you go.
What about Cassie and Geneva?
I think Geneva won't initiate any conversation. I don't know if Cassie will, but she's just gonna kind of very methodically get ready for bed. Ready to get some rest.
Yeah, no. Cassie doesn't initiate any conversation with her either. And you notice that she's not carrying much luggage, or any luggage for that matter. So she's staying in her clothes with her boots on. But she's also, instead of going into bed, she is sitting up in the chair that's available in the room. And she turns it and faces the open window. And with the playbook in her hand, she's just going to spend the night reading it.
As soon as you open that book, Geneva sits up. I suggest you get some sleep, Cassie.
It's fine. I don't get much sleep anyway.
It's not fine. You should not be reading that. We have a long day ahead of us.
Cassandra sighs and closes the book and gets up out of the chair and goes to the other bed, sitting on top of the covers though, and just sits with her back against the headboard, just awake and staring at the opposite wall.
Yeah, I think Geneva has a very long night ahead of herself of waking up occasionally, checking to make sure she's not reading the damn book, and then falling back asleep. And then if she is reading the book, having to be a mom talking to a toddler and being like, no, bedtime.
Yeah,
So-
no, she doesn't read the book anymore, but she is
Okay.
definitely just she is going to try her best to stay awake this time. So
Okay, well, can't do anything about that, but at least she's not reading the book, so Geneva will sleep then.
Go ahead and make a willpower roll, Cassie. Just to see if you can will yourself to stay awake.
Ooh,
With a 100 out of 60, a fumble. The exhaustion is just too much at this point. You just cannot keep your eyes open, and every time your eyes begin to drift closed, you force them open, but soon you're just lost to unconsciousness.
fair enough.
And then you dream. But we'll get to that.
Of course.
Mark and Michael, I'm guessing you two end up going to sleep at some point.
I think Michael pretends to go to sleep far before he actually does.
Okay.
It's like, oh, so tired.
How about you, Mark?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, Mark is really busted at this point. He is probably going to go to sleep pretty quickly.
Just cuddling up with the hotel Bible.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I have my own. What, are you kidding me?
Of course, of course.
Pocket edition. Mine's got all the notes in the margins and things underlined. So
It's all dog-eared for important passages.
It's
yeah.
a teen adventure Bible.
Oh my God.
Did nobody else have one of those?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, we got given them when, because my family is Catholic, so I went to a Catholic summer camp or whatever when I was a teenager, and we got given these editions, Bibles that were super colorful on the cover, really loud colors, and it was Teen Adventure Bible, but inside it was just the Bible. It wasn't any different in any way, shape, or form.
Yep, I had one of those growing up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, really?
I don't have one of those.
Incredible. incredible.
I don't have one of those, but I'll post a picture of a Bible that I did end up finding at a truck stop once.
Oh no!
I'll post it later. I'll post it later.
Mark.
Mm-hmm.
As you sleep, and initially you're so tired, you're so exhausted, the sleep is dreamless. It's just that all-encompassing blackness of just the utter cessation of thought and sensation. But eventually you become aware of the feeling of movement, even though you're still surrounded in blackness. And soon there's a light ahead, and you realize it's you who's walking, and you're moving, your feet shuffling against stone. And there's a gas lantern by your feet. You pick it up and you see that you are in this underground labyrinth of rock. And you can hear sounds all around you, the dripping and running of water, others walking what sounds like mining tools, maybe. Occasional cries. But eventually you realize you're facing an alcove in a wall. And there's a bottle of ever-darkening layers of crystal. You pick it up, and you see that the bottle is stopped with a cork, sealed with melted yellow wax, and marked with the yellow sign. Go ahead and roll sanity. Okay.
That is 49 out of 65. That's a success.
That is. This is the same sign you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
In the banner, on the banner, in that spectral vision you had at the Dorchester House, on Cassie's book. You've seen it here again. But when you wake, we'll get to that. Cassie.
Yes.
You have a dream. You're in the hotel room. And for a moment, for all intents and purposes, you've woken in the middle of the night in bed in the hotel, jolted into consciousness by something. And you suddenly become aware of a familiar, hulking shape next to you. And that shape leans down, and you are paralyzed. You can't move. To whisper something in your ear.
Not a who, but a what and a why. Like the air, like the earth, like the sky. Your blood and your bone and your breath. You think you're you, but you've already left. The only way out is through. Laugh. Laugh. Laugh.
And the familiar voice of Ira Brewer chases you back into consciousness just as daylight begins to stream through the blackened curtains of your hotel room.
Yeah, when I jolt awake out of that, realizing that it's now morning, even though the curtains are still darkened, I just see the sunlight starting to peek out from below. I slam my back against the headboard, look around. Is Geneva just in bed still? Is she sleeping?
I'm guessing Geneva would still be asleep, right?
Yeah, what time is it at this point?
Probably 6:37.
Yeah, we'll say she's maybe asleep, but like ready to wake up. So probably would wake up at any like movement or rustle or anything. She's not like deeply sleeping since this is probably her normal way.
She's going to roll over and check to see if the copy of the book is still next to her. And if it is, if there's been any changes, or if it looks like anyone's been touching it.
No, it's exactly where you left it.
She'll look over at Geneva, who she sees now starting to roll and rustle around in the bed a bit to stir awake, and just keeps watching her as she starts to wake up.
Are you holding the book when she wakes up?
No.
Okay.
So she has her hand on it next to her, but it's on the opposite side of her. It's on the opposite side, so facing away from you.
Gotcha. Yeah, Geneva will kind of do a little morning stretch in the bed and then start to sit up.
Looks over at Cassie, almost half expecting to see her like cross-legged reading the book on the bed. Pleasantly surprised to find that's not.
Did you get some sleep last night?
I'd say that when Geneva looks at her and like her eyes start to really focus, she would see that she looks like she's seen a ghost.
Cassie, what happened?
We need to go see Mark, and I need to talk to him.
Okay, let's do that.
Speaking of which, Mark.
Yep.
As you begin to awaken, it's like when you're in a very, very deep sleep with a very, very vivid dream. It's almost like the imagery is still kind of engraved on the back of your eyelids as you wake, and you still recall the feeling of that cold, crystalline-like material against your fingers as you wake, and you become aware of the name on the bottle. It was there, but it's one of the first details to begin to fade as you return to reality, or the closest thing to it. If you want to try to recall the name, you can make a luck roll.
I will do that. Yeah. Waking up as it's fading from my memory, trying to recall. That's a fumble.
Oof. Okay.
99 out of
Good
50.
start. Good
start. Yes.
Yeah. Try as you might, that is gone. And soon the only thing you really remember is being underground in this maze of rock and stone with this bottle in your hand and those weird lines etched into yellow wax, but that's, yeah, the name is gone.
I mean, I remember that somebody's name was on the bottle, but I can't remember who.
Right.
Yeah. I think Mark just kind of wakes up and slowly he's sitting on the side of the bed with his elbows on his knees and his head kind of hanging down a little bit as he's trying to recall, and he's just saying to himself over and over again, "Daggone it. Who? What? Oh. Well, it's gone. That's it." I look over at Michael. Is he awake?
Is he?
Yeah. What exactly? Like, what time is that exactly?
Probably between 6:37.
Yeah, he would be kind of starting to rouse himself by this point.
Yeah, Mark goes to stand up and quickly sits back down on the bed. Oh, I forgot. Oh, that hurts way more than it should. Oh,
Are you?
I suppose.
Are you okay? Also, just by the look of you, I think it probably hurts about as much as it should.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I think that might be normal.
You know how when you have a dream and you can do things in a dream that you can't do in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had this dream, and I was in some tunnel underground with people around me mining and stuff. I found a bottle, but the thing I could do that I can't do in real life is walk without pain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish we could take you to a hospital or something. But I'm afraid that's not really an option at the moment.
Yeah.
Are you going to be okay? Are you going to be good?
Give me a second. Can I roll a con check?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Roll con times 5. Yep.
Con times 5. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's a failure. So
Yeah.
that basically means nothing, right?
You gain nothing back.
But I do get my willpower back at least.
For willpower, you gain 1d6.
1d6. Oh, okay.
Yep. So everybody roll 1d6, and you regain that much willpower.
I get a whole 1 back.
Nice.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think my willpower is full.
Mine too.
Yeah, no, it's mostly me and Cassie, I think, who suffered.
Ooh, big ol' 1 as well. Handler.
Party.
Okay. Do I roll con times 5 even though I had that weird dream, or?
So you wouldn't roll con times 5 because you have all your hit points, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, roll con times 5.
Oh, no.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay. So fucking A. With 77 out of 75, which is a fumble, you wake up somehow feeling worse than when you went to sleep, and you lose 1 additional hit point.
Love that.
I'm like kind of rooting for Cassandra to be the only one who makes it through this.
I know,
Like
same.
100% it's not going to happen. It's almost impossible, but man, wouldn't that be something?
All right. Well, in answer to Michael's question, Mark just kind of looks up at him, kind of sidelong, as his head is still. He's not even raising his head all the way up, and he says, "I don't know, but what choice do we have?"
I'm sorry, can you repeat that for me? Sorry.
Mark just says, "I don't know, but what should we have?"
Not any good ones.
Yeah. Well, let's get this over with.
Listen, Mark. You seem like a nice person, a good person. Do you know what might have to happen with your friend?
Mark pauses for a long time. He doesn't look up. He's looking at the ground.
You know she's not well. And you know what that means.
Look, she's been going downhill for a while.
Okay.
And the folks in charge just keep sending her back. Not sure why.
Because there's really only one other option.
Well, I mean, if it comes to that, they'll take care of it, won't they? You ain't saying we have to do it. That's not fair.
I know. And you won't have to.
We ain't there yet.
No.
And we're gonna do our darndest to make sure that we don't get there. Right?
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
Mark, I need to know. If we do get there, are we gonna have a problem?
Mark's eyes are on the floor, and slowly he raises them up to look at Michael. And Michael can see that there are tears starting to well up. He says, "I hope it doesn't come to that, but if it does, promise me she won't suffer."
No, that's not how we do things.
I'm not ready to give up yet.
Okay. Okay. It might not end up being your call. It's not going to be mine either. But I've been working with Geneva for a long time, and she's very fair. She knows what she's doing.
How the heck does she know what she's doing? How could anybody know what they're doing with all this stuff?
Honestly, if I knew that, she'd be the one here talking to you, not me.
Well, let's just not be hasty, all right? She's a good person. She's been through a lot.
Yeah, I can see that. We won't do anything until the time is right. But when she says it's right, it is. Okay?
Geneva.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Geneva, Cassie, are you making your way over to Mark and Michael's room?
Yeah, I was going to ask Geneva, though, should we be just prepared to leave then?
Yeah, I think the sooner we get a start on this, the better.
Okay. I don't have much with me. I suppose then we can just check into another room after this.
That might be smart, considering we might have people following us. Might be a good idea to not stay in the same place 2 nights.
Okay. I'm ready to go when you are.
All right. And she'll get up and just go into the bathroom really quick to swish some water in her mouth. She doesn't really have a toothbrush, and just try to wake up a little bit more fully, and then she'll be ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, and she'll wait on the edge of the bed, dutifully, just looking around, staring up at the TV again, looking at it even though the screen is still black, just almost expecting something to happen, like another broadcast just to pop up. Whether or not it does, she just is still looking into it.
All right, yeah. Then I guess we'll head over and knock on the door of the other room.
Yeah. I would say, though, that she would let Geneva lead her out of the room. But as Cassandra has left, she will also leave behind a copy of the play.
Do I notice this?
Yeah. Well, are you trying to be stealthy with it, Cassie? Or
yeah.
Roll stealth then.
I probably would have put it somewhere less conspicuous while she was in the shower.
Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, if she's in the shower, then yeah, you wouldn't have an opportunity to.
Well, she didn't shower. It's more she stepped into the bathroom.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay,
stood at the sink and just freshened herself up a little bit.
All right. Well, whatever you want me to roll.
Let's do this. Let's do. I'll roll luck, and then Geneva roll alertness.
The luck is smart because it's like if someone's in the washroom doing stuff and you just tucked something under their mattress, you would never know. But if she rolls luck and fails, then Geneva comes out of the bathroom and sees her. I think that's smart.
Oh, we both failed.
Yeah, okay. Shit, I forgot the rule when they both fail.
Is it the higher? It's weird because it's like the higher one.
Yeah, it's higher one wins the contest because it's closer to success or something like that.
That's right. Okay.
Well, because if you have a better score, it means you can roll higher and still succeed.
Okay, here it is. So you fail and opponent fails. Nobody, whoever rolled lower succeeds and the other fails. So in this case, Cassie, because you rolled a 62 out of 50 on your luck, and Geneva, you rolled an 81 out of 74 on your alertness. You miss it, and as that door opens, Cassie, just as soon as you get done kind of tucking that copy of the Red Book under your mattress.
No, I was actually going to put it in the same drawer as the Bible.
Oh, okay, got it.
God damn it.
So in that case, Cassie, as soon as you get done kind of hiding the Red Book underneath the the Bible in the nightstand, you hear that door open up, and maybe you're not really paying attention, Geneva. Your attention is elsewhere, but you miss it as soon as that drawer closes.
All right, leaving that there, I guess. Then, yeah, she just heads out.
Yeah, she'll get up and follow.
Okay. Yeah, Mark and Michael, as you all are having this discussion, suddenly there is a knock on the hotel room door.
I would assume Michael would kind of jerk a little, surprised, because they were in the midst of a pretty serious conversation, and then get up and walk over to the door and open it. Hey, guys. But not like that, just like
I was gonna say.
Hey, girl.
I peed a little. That's scared me.
Morning. How'd you guys
Morning.
sleep?
Fine, thank you. How about you?
The same. And she kind of looks over her shoulder at Cassie and then gives Michael kind of a, yeah, it was okay. Kind of look to let him know nothing weird happened that she knows of.
Mm-hmm. Everything was fine. I had a dream about a bottle. Funny thing is, though, I for the life of me, I cannot remember the name on it.
Cassandra goes into the room silently and sits at the edge of Mark's bed and looks back at him. Ira spoke to me last night.
What?
Ira came to me last night when I fell asleep. I tried not to. I was so tired.
What did he say?
Not a who, more of a what and a why. Like the air, like the earth, like the sky, your blood and your bone and your breath. You think you're you, but you've already left. And then he just kept telling me to laugh until I woke up.
That don't sound like Ira.
It's probably not. It's probably whatever lives on those floors is just wearing him.
The devil? The man in yellow? Whatever we're going to call him?
The king.
King. Well, folks, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and wash some of this to see if it. I don't know. What do you think, Cassie? Do you think I should?
I can dress your wounds a bit. Well, actually, can I dress his wounds a bit?
Yeah, you can dress them, but there will be no further healing,
All right.
unfortunately.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, she'll just his color. She'll touch his wounds up, make sure they're healing at least a little bit, and just like changing any bandages that need to be changed, and stuff like that, and just making sure that he's on the road to recovery.
And the wounds are healing. They still look red and inflamed, but they're not like these open, gaping wounds. They're more like, inflamed pock marks at this point than anything else.
Is there anything that's preventing him from having a hot shower? Like, should he not do that?
Oh, just you never know with like open sores and stuff, right? They could just, moisture may be bad, keep them covered while you're showering. So,
Yeah.
But no, I would say that Cassie bought enough supplies to where you could keep them covered to an extent while you're showering, and then change them when you get back out, so you're not walking around with wet bandages on. Or a bath would probably be more appropriate. I don't know. They're kind of fucking everywhere, so you're screwed.
We have a
either way.
nurse in chat though.
Yeah, we do.
Nurse Sonia, what?
She hasn't corrected me yet in text. So no, they're not bleeding. They are healed over. They're starting to heal over. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, our resident medical expert has spoken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you. So shower is possible, bath is possible, might be painful, but they are starting to heal.
Yeah. So I think Mark goes and and washes off. And as he comes out, he says, "All right, that definitely hurt more than I thought it was going to. But at least the smell is mostly gone."
I mean, during that time, while you're kind of washing up, Geneva, Michael, Cassie, do you all do anything, or do you just kind of sit tight?
Cassandra's just sitting tight at the edge of the bed, hands on her lap, just looking at the TV.
Got it.
We know where we're going, right? We know where Barbas' house is.
You both do. Yep.
Okay.
You and Michael remember very well where it's at.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Then I think she's.
In fact, both of you roll sanity for me.
Sure.
Oh, fun.
And when people say Barbas' name, that doesn't like trigger my demon thing, right?
No, it does not. Ooh. Yeah. So, so Geneva with a 33 out of 55 and Michael with a 29 out of 49. You're getting this strange sense of deja vu. Like you've been to Barbas' house before.
Is it like an alarming kind of thing? Like we're walking into the same trap maybe we did before kind of feeling? Or is it more of just a, okay kind of thing?
At this point, more of a okay kind of thing.
Okay.
It's odd. It's definitely enough for you to be conscious of it, but not to an alarming extent, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Like we're talking see the black cat cross the doorway twice.
Yeah.
Phase, not the it's a glitch in the matrix phase of things.
Gotcha.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, he just tucks that away for later.
Same. He, feels that, but doesn't say anything or mention anything.
Okay. Yeah, and eventually, with you all just kind of hanging out, eventually, you hear the sound of the shower shut off, and Mark kind of shuffles back out to join you.
Feel better?
These itch like crazy, but yeah, I'll be all right.
Let them scab. That's the only way they're gonna heal.
Well, you're the expert. Thanks.
All right. Well, if everyone's ready, then let's get going. Do we have a car with us? We walked here, right? We didn't bring a car?
Yeah, I don't believe you have a vehicle.
Okay.
Before we go, we've already used a card here. If they're looking for us, they're going to find it. So before we leave, we should find the nearest ATM to this place, and everyone should take out everything that their card will allow. That way we have money on us.
Yeah, that's smart.
We can pay for the next hotel or motel room with cash tonight.
All right. So mechanically, how does that work? Do we roll like an int or to get the money, or
isn't it a accounting or something?
Yeah, it's either. Yeah, let me see what we would do in this case.
Bureaucracy, or
because if you all are essentially talking about draining your accounts at this point.
Well, I don't think, for the most part, you wouldn't be able to drain an account, at least not if you're, you have your bank account set up like a responsible adult, in case your card gets stolen. But, they usually have withdrawal limits of some kind per day or whatever.
So what we'll do is we'll just say you're if you do find an ATM and you are able to withdraw that money, we'll stick to the typical expenditure rules when you do need to spend that money. And kind of all that comes with it. But we'll just say you're able to convert credit debit to cash, and now you're carrying that money on you versus going to an ATM.
Sweet. And so then we would be able to get motel rooms and stuff like that without leaving a trail.
Right. Potentially. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Those are totally incidental expenses. So
thankfully Cassandra has no money. So
broke. She broke. All right. So what's the plan?
Y'all know where he lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
If we don't, do we have a car, but we left it when we walked here, or we don't have a car at all?
You don't have a car.
Okay, I couldn't remember what it was.
I think you Ubered. I think you guys Ubered.
That's right. That's right. I guess we Uber then.
No, that's another paper trail.
Can you pay with or a cab? Can you pay cash with a cab?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do cash with cabs, just not with
Yeah.
Ubers.
That's true. Okay, yeah. We'll get a cab then.
And are you going to have it take you right to the house, or maybe,
No, probably a few blocks away at least.
You're learning and I love it.
Yay.
I was really proud of my ATM idea.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
I am proud of you all too. You are learning tradecraft. This is great.
I mean, really what we should do is have one cab take us. We should at least do one hop, right?
Oh, like a secondary
that's a good
location
idea.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. A hop is a good idea. We'll have one cab take us to somewhere else and then catch a cab from that somewhere else to the place we actually want to go.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Perfect. It'll take us all day to get there, but no one will know where we are.
Exactly.
So we'll say you hit the road by maybe about 8:30, and probably get to finally like begin your approach to Barbas's residence close to 10. The address. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, here's another thing. Do we want to try and pick up weapons for Cassie and Mark, or?
I don't think Michael's going to want to do that at all.
Yeah, Geneva will not suggest it, so it's that's for your.
I think Mark will be like, I feel kind of funny without my gun.
If
And that raises
something
go ahead.
happens, I was just going to say, Michael will say, if something happens, we'll protect you.
We can
And that-
protect ourselves if we have our weapons.
I don't think I'm giving you a weapon, Cassandra.
At least give Mark one, okay?
I mean, I don't exactly have a spare.
Here,
And-
take one of the 12 that I brought with me. Michael pulls a bazooka out of his suit coat.
Sweet.
That
Of
raises
course.
another question. How would you get him?
Yeah, getting a gun a handgun in Boston is probably not an easy thing, is it?
Well, if the idea is to stay off the radar, getting one legitimately is no longer an option.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's probably easier to just go. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe Mark can get I don't know, a baton or something for unarmed.
Yeah, you could go to like a surplus store or something like that. Yeah, get a baton for if you've got any skill in melee. Yeah. Oh no, what's your
Yeah.
melee at?
I'm gonna say I was looking at unarmed, but that's no, my melee is default.
So lightning and
30.
thunder. Yeah, lightning and thunder
Yeah.
are what you got.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just hope for the best.
I mean, if you wanted a knife, you could get a knife, but again, that's going to be melee as well. Like anything. So apart from your open hands, which is going to be unarmed combat, anything you wield is going to be melee.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think it's probably more trouble than it's worth.
Okay.
Is my thinking.
Well, in that case, the four of you eventually make it to Medford, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston, specifically 919 4th Street, Medford, Massachusetts, 02153. I don't know why I gave you the fucking zip code. You don't need the zip code. Geneva and Michael, you know this address well. There were plenty of nights where you were conducting surveillance on this location in the lead up to your disappearance and during your investigation of Barbas himself. The house is in an uneven 2-story rust red bungalow. There's an unkempt lawn on an otherwise carefully maintained quiet street, again in the Medford neighborhood. It is the middle of the day, but you can't tell if there's any activity going on inside.
Okay, 2 questions. First one is the activity of the rest of like the houses and his neighbors around him, and then the second one is based on the surveillance we've done before. Do we have any idea of what his rough schedule might be? Where he like if he's inside, if he might be out? Do we have any knowledge like that?
So you would, I would say that to the best of your recollection, you never made it inside because of how erratic his schedule was. There were times where you could have sworn he was outside of the house and he ended up being inside, from what you could tell based on activity you witnessed during your approach. All over the place. I mean, in fact, it was that erratic schedule and the fact that he hadn't been to work at all that kind of aroused the attention of Delta Green to begin with. So this is not somebody who keeps normal, regular hours and coming or going. As far as the activity of the rest of the neighborhood, it's a typical residential area. So you're going to have, people who are out at work during the day, as well as people who have nothing better to do than stare out their windows and watch for strange people coming and going.
Cool. Perfect. I guess then as inconspicuously as we can, being strange people in the neighborhood, is his house the way it's situated? Like if we were to just like walk the perimeter really quick, would we be in full view of like his neighbors, or is it kind of tucked away where we could potentially at least try to do that without being seen?
No, it'd be pretty obvious.
Okay. Then I think just going up to the front door is honestly going to be our best bet.
Well, who wants to lead the way?
Yeah, I mean, Geneva will. She'll kind of mention that knock on the door, easiest way in, and kind of pause to see if anyone objects. And if not, she will head on up and do just that.
Yeah, I would say Cassandra lets her go, but is there like steps that lead up to the door, or is it just street level?
No, there are steps. There's like a walkway, and that leads up to a patio with an overhang.
Okay, so then, yeah, Cassandra would stay at the bottom of the steps and let Geneva head up.
Okay, so in that case, Geneva and the others, as you kind of step up to the porch, you see that water-damaged mail is just piled on the front porch. The front door itself does not appear to have been opened in some time, and it was obvious, even from where you're standing, Cassie, that the patio itself is just covered in mail and leaves and dirt, and it's rarely used, if at all.
You said he doesn't look like he lives here anymore.
I mean, well, we've been missing for months. It's possible that's changed while we've been gone, but this is where he lived last time we knew. And I'm going to kind of try to peek in like a window to see if there's any kind of movement or anything I can see from there.
There is not. In fact, all the curtains are drawn.
Quick look around. Do we seem to have caught any attention of the neighbors?
Roll alertness.
Can anyone else? Oh,
yeah. Whoever. Well, with a 59 out of 74, it doesn't look like it.
Assuming the front door is locked, but I'll
is.
try it. Okay.
I'm going to be keeping an eye out just in case.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
She's gonna turn back to the others and just say, if we do get any attention, we're here on a wellness check.
Okay.
So she's kind of like gestures at like the state of everything. I don't think that'll be too difficult for people to buy.
No, it's smart.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can't really pick the lock. We're not rogues, so is the door like one of those ones that has like a little window that I could like, if I smashed it, I could like tuck my little hand in. Just very good smush. Just
You described breaking and entering in the cutest way I've ever heard.
Smush
I'm just
the
gonna
window.
go smush the window and then
Smush
just
the
walk in.
Tuck my little hand in.
I'm trying to sound non-threatening so people don't be like, what is she doing? It's like, it's okay, I'm just smushing it.
Yeah, so well there are windows, but they're set kind of at the top of the door.
Shoot.
You know the ones I'm talking about, like you usually have like the two panes set at the very top of the door.
Yeah. That makes sense. She'll walk around the house and see if she can see another door in. Now that they have a potential cover.
Yeah, there's a back door.
All right, she'll go there and knock.
No answer.
Is it locked as well?
It is.
Can I smush this window?
You probably have less cover out here in the back than you do in the front.
Out of character, I don't think it's a wellness check, but isn't there some kind of thing where it's like if you get called in, if you don't get a response and you're concerned that someone inside needs help, law enforcement can enter?
There is. It's called exigent circumstances.
Okay.
But typically it has to be like you heard something inside, you smelled something that in your training and experience was like the smell of decomposition, something like that.
Gotcha.
In Canada, they're just called wellness checks. If you have a relative or someone who calls in a wellness check on someone because they haven't heard from them, or they're haven't heard from them and it's like unusual for them to have not heard from them in that period of time, you can call in a wellness check and the police will go to their house. And if the police get to their house, if they're given reason to believe that the person is in any sort of medical danger or whatever, they're allowed to enter.
Exactly. Same concept. U.S. law enforcement does do wellness checks. And then there's that exigent circumstance kind of exception where they can enter your residence without a warrant or without your consent. You would just need an articulable reason why you did that.
Oh, look, there's a fire.
Right.
Yeah, I started a fire. Oh, no.
Well,
honestly, he's elderly.
Yeah.
And that can be enough of a reason sometimes.
You're also criminals right now.
Do you smell that dead body?
I sure do.
Here, I have an idea. You go to break the window, and just when you're breaking the window, I'll fire my gun to cover the sound.
Perfect.
We're so good at this.
Does it look like there is any sort of security system around the house?
Oh, smart.
Like outside, or like any kind of sticker for a securities company, or like
Nice.
even peering into the windows? Is there any sort of security box?
Roll alertness
Good call.
or awareness. Do I keep saying alertness? I can't.
It is
remember.
alertness.
It is alertness. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
just
nice.
barely.
Yeah, 50 out of 51. Not from what you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do a walk around of the house, you don't see any stickers like ADT. You don't see a box typically where you would see one on the outside of the residence. Nothing like that.
Okay. Second question: do I see like a brick or a stone? Maybe like one of those garden gnomes.
Yeah, you could find an object. Absolutely.
Just something heavy enough to break through a window.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I pick up like let's say one of those like decorative garden rocks, and just with as much force as I can, I will push it through one of the more concealed windows that's maybe like concealed by like a bush or trees or something like that.
Okay, roll stealth. Or are you trying to be stealthy, like sneaky with it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not great at it, but I'll try. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh boy. Yeah, with a 17 out of 16. There's at Geneva, Michael, you just hear this loud crash of breaking glass.
I mean, that's the kind of failure that hurts the most, you know?
Honestly.
I'm immediately looking at the neighbors to see if we've caught any attention.
Roll alertness.
Oh no.
I was already keeping watch, so I think I will roll as well.
You go ahead and roll, yeah.
No, we can both roll.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
you succeeded. I won't risk it. You succeeded, so you go for it.
with a 46 out of 82, Michael, you don't see any curtains move. You don't see anybody poke their heads out. Somehow, it seems as if you have avoided arousing attention just yet. Because maybe the neighbors rolled worse than Cassie did.
Okay.
Nice.
Michael will go. I think we're good, but we should take advantage of this now.
Well, what window did you choose there, Cassie? Like front, side?
Without knowing the layout of the house itself, just something that was concealed by enough, whether it was like trees or shrubbery or like other buildings or something like that, just enough that was concealed, preferably something towards the front of the house. But if it's like the back of the house, like the kitchen or something like that, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, I don't know the layout of the house. So
Yeah. No problem. We'll say, we'll say it's a side window. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I mean, she's got experience breaking into things, so she'll climb into the window,
Okay.
just as casually, and as soon as the window opens up enough.
So casually.
Look, she's had to get into, she's had to squat sometimes.
Yeah.
You find yourself in what was probably once the living room. There is a bare wood floor that is absolutely pitted and stained with oil and gasoline. And the smell is just almost overwhelming of just metal and machine and, again, oil and gas. You see truck drive shafts, counterweights, large ponderous machines just kind of strewn throughout in various states of disassembly. The most prominent is this large standing clockwork monstrosity in one corner.
Yeah. Does this trigger any memory from the night floors, whether it's the scent or this machine itself?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, she'll look at it for a moment, leery, and keeping as far as she can away from it. She will start to move towards, I guess, the front door. Where was Mark at?
Yeah, where'd Mark go during
Yeah,
this
Mark
time?
would have been at the front door.
Okay. So yeah, she'll move towards the front door to let him in.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody do anything with the mail? Just kind of leave it?
Yeah,
were you looking at the mail, Geneva and Mark?
I wasn't, no.
Mark will take a look at the mail just to confirm. I mean, what we all already seem to know. When does the mail start? I guess would be a good question.
So scooping it up is one thing. It would definitely take you a while to kind of sort through it and start kind of piecing together any kind of timeline.
Okay, well, Mark, when the door opens, Mark will have the mail scooped up in his hand, and he will come inside to take a look at it. Wrinkle his nose at the gas smell coming from within.
Yeah.
And then Geneva and Michael are at the back?
Yep.
Okay, then yes, we'll start to walk through the house as quietly as we can, but head towards them to open and let them in. Okay.
Yeah, you go kind of through the living room into the dining room, back into the kitchen, and that rear stoop where you find Geneva and Michael still kind of doing their walk around, and you open the door. And Geneva and Michael, you look up, and there's Cassie.
Yeah, I'll head in quickly before anyone sees.
Michael will follow her lead.
So you step inside, and the house is almost completely dark, except for what little light is streaming in through the edges of the curtains. There are 2 paint pans on the kitchen counter with nuts and bolts soaking in gasoline, and again, your noses are just immediately assailed by that just overpowering miasma of gas and oil. It is absolutely clear no one has eaten here in weeks. Dishes are piled in a corner. They're clean, but they've been smashed. Silverware is neatly stacked in a dusty drawer.
This is so weird. It's definitely not what I was expecting. Like, I wasn't expecting mechanical stuff. Michael's just going to start searching around and see if he can find anything interesting.
Anywhere in particular, or?
He will search the living room.
Okay. Again, you kind of step in to the living room. The living room and the dining room are kind of almost conjoined. Like there's not really much separating them. It's kind of like one large area that's been kind of divided up into, these two areas.
Sure.
So there were French doors once separating the dining room from the living room, but it looks like those have absolutely just been taken down. And in the corner of the living room itself, kind of up against the wall, near where those doors used to be situated, is this large monstrosity, this mechanical beast, for lack of a better term.
I guess he wouldn't have to search very hard to find something interesting. Can I examine it and see if I can understand literally anything about it? Like what its purpose is, or like does it look like it's supposed to move? Is there joints with pistons attached to them, or is it just like stationary and produces something, or is it more like an art installation?
I'm just out of curiosity, where's Mark at this time?
I think Mark would have stepped in through the front door, probably into the living room, and sat down on the couch and began going through the mail. As Michael moves towards the machine to take a closer look, though, Mark would just look up and say, "I'd be careful of that if I was you. I saw something, that reminds me of that, and it didn't turn out well for the folks who had to deal with it."
What do you mean?
I mean, it's a long time ago, but I think machines like this have a tendency to be very, very violent.
Oh. Okay. I wasn't planning on touching it. I was just going to look it up, but what did you see before?
Actually, I gotta retcon a little bit. I apologize.
How dare you? How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Son of a bitch.
So for those who did enter the living room,
Mm-hmm.
you do see this gigantic, monstrous thing in the corner. But also set in the middle of the living room floor is a large kind of clockwork art installation. It's strange. It's about 5 feet long, 3 feet wide, and about 1 to 1.5 feet tall, about kind of the size of like a table hockey console. It's sitting flat on the ground with no legs. The surface of this box has been spray painted matte black. Does anybody kind of walk up to it?
Yeah, I was actually going to say that Cassandra, when she sees that, and once everyone is inside, she'd start to look around the piece to see if there's like anything, any kind of like signature on it, perhaps like Abigail's signature, or even like if it like looks like something that she would make.
So it not from what you can see, like no kind of artist signature or engraving or anything like that. It appears to be like a whole piece, but then you look at it closer and it's actually cut by these barely visible slots, lines, and hinges. If you start kind of messing around with these, you can see that there are these strange, like carefully made pop-up pieces of wood on metal hinges, tracks, and pulleys. And in fact, as soon as you touch it, you hear this whirring sound. And something inside begins to click and snap. And before you can react, all of a sudden, these small, flat paintings of the four of you pop up through the slots in the surface. They move and they spin and they slide down these recessed tracks. And as they move, these sets begin to spring up around them. The Boston skyline, the house that you all found yourself in this morning. I actually need you to roll sanity there, Cassie.
Sure.
And is anybody else watching this?
Sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, is it loud? Like, does it make like clicking noises?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mention.
You can hear it, yeah.
Yeah, I think Geneva maybe went to go look at another room, but hearing that, she probably comes in and like she it's a big thing making noise. So yeah, she looks at it.
All right. What about you, Michael?
I was going to say, if there wasn't anything on the machine that the monstrous machine that is captivating enough to hold, to be more important.
The thing is pretty captivating because it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, like, if it's not moving or doing anything, then I think the clicking and the active noise would be enough to turn it around.
As you step closer to it, and probably within about 3 feet of it, you hear this sharp whine begin to build.
Oh, does it build when he moves, or does it build even when he's standing there?
It builds even when you're standing there.
If I take a step back, does it stop?
It begins to power down.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to turn around and go, nobody get any closer to this one.
And Cassie, stand back. You don't know what that's going to do. Mark will stand up and walk closer to Cassie where she's standing next to the art installation.
That's a 73 out of 24 for the sanity check.
So you lose 1. And Geneva and Mark, if you're looking at this thing, you too see your painted, painted figurines in this display. I need you both to roll sanity as well.
Ooh, how fun!
Yeah. So
wow.
Mark with a 60 out of 65, you lose nothing, and Geneva with a 1 out of 55, you lose nothing.
Dang, I almost, man.
Okay, cool.
So as this display continues to click and whir and move, it's almost like a tiny mechanical puppet show. And it very clearly shows, it almost runs in reverse for a little bit. Cassie and Mark, you see yourselves at the Dorchester House. You see yourselves in the cotton candy room, in the group therapy, talking with Bale. You see figurines representing Ira and Jenny. You see yourselves running from the clown. You see yourselves meeting Geneva and Michael. As you move through the world now, reaching the present, it actually shows you entering Barbas's residence and finding this very thing, this very clockwork world that you are now watching. I need you all 3 to roll sanity once again.
I was going to say, there would be no way that Michael would not come over and see what everybody else was looking at.
Yeah, you see yourself at this point. Yeah, you see yourself on there as well at this point. So with a 74 out of 49, you lose 1, and I need you to roll 1 more sanity at this point.
Sure.
So
God damn it!
Fun.
Okay, so
I
Michael,
get my mouth shut.
With a 66 out of 49, you lose 4.
Oof. Oh, I'm below my breaking point.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ooh.
Welcome to the club.
How's that so low?
Did you recalculate it?
I don't think so. Yeah, potentially not.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, because I started with 49 sanity points in this session, and my breaking point is 48.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at that real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
No problem.
I don't want to screw you over here if I don't have to.
Hmm.
Okay, so it should be your sanity is your power times 5. So you should have started with 60.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you very much.
But did you lose some because of the hardened
that's
veteran?
right.
Or?
Yep, that's right. Yep. With hard experience, so stand by. So starting value would have been 60. So here, I'll plug it in. I'm in your character sheet right now.
Sure. Hard experience would reduce it, and then I do think I lost like one or like a few last session as well.
But that wouldn't reduce your max.
Would have been 48. So
Yeah.
then, yep. So yeah, it would have been your breaking point would have been 48 at that point. Hard experience. I reduce your sand by 5, so it would have been 55. Okay, so we'll do it by another. So you might have. We'll give you 50. I'll give you 50.
I think the 49 was like. I think the 49 was right. Like we started at 55. I'm pretty sure I lost quite a few points last time.
You did.
Yeah, scrolling up, you did.
Yeah, after sleeping or anything, you don't change your breaking point at all. It's just what it is.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so then I went past my breaking point.
So now you're at 45. Yeah.
I would be at 44 because I lost 1 and then I lost 4.
That's right. So yeah, 44. Okay. Oof.
It's not 5 below. It's not 5 below. So no temporary insanity.
Yeah, you don't go temporarily insane. You will need to select a new disorder.
Well, that's fun. Can we just roll for one? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, we can. I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Sure.
And okay, so yeah, and then reset your breaking point to your new breaking point. So it's your current sanity, whatever it is right now, minus your power.
Sweet. All right, I'm catching up, Cassandra. Coming for you.
Yeah.
Were there going to be the king and queen of homecoming at the local insane asylum?
The local insane asylum is bad and dangerous, so I hope not.
So Cassie with a 78 out of 23, I need you to roll 1d4. Geneva with a 57 out of 55, I also need you to roll 1d4. And Mark with a 22 out of 65, you lose nothing. Oh,
I've seen it all before.
Yeah, Cassie and Geneva, you both lose 1.
Love that for me.
As you're watching this performance continue,
not to interrupt, I'm sorry, just so I have a better understanding of the visual. So it's like those like old time like cuckoo clock automatons, but like in a very elaborate way. So like all these different locations are sliding up as like wood paneling or something like that. And
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. And there's no apparent power source. This thing isn't plugged in anything.
But we still hear like mechanics going.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it takes you up to the present where it shows you entering this residence now, finding this clockwork world and, watching it. And then you begin moving through the world again. And strange figures appear on either side of you, with the agents, with the 4 of you sliding in between them. These new figures are wearing gas masks and carrying shotguns, and they frenetically chase you. There are these little pops as these gas mask wearing figures begin shooting gunpowder squibs out of the ends of these shotguns, each triggered by a tiny clockwork hammer. Some of these gas mask figures are occasionally killed by Geneva and Michael, or at least the little figurines representing them, and they vanish into the box only to pop up again, harassing you in greater numbers. As this team, this group, appears, an oversized gold-clad king slides silently ahead of this procession of you all as you are pursued. And where he goes, the set appears just ahead of you, as if this king in yellow is making the world around you. Finally, you rush towards a building that resolves from several clockwork movements, revealing a sign that reads, Hotel Broadlebin. Past it, the Golden King enters a pop-up cavern and appears to place a bottle on a shelf. When your curios reach the hotel, all of the elements vanish back into the table.
Okay, so the gas mask shotgun people entered the house we are in now in this?
No, they appeared apparently after you had left.
Gotcha. Noted.
Well, I guess we're never leaving.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good job, Vince. We win.
From the scene that we just witnessed, is it possible to tell any features about where we found the Hotel Broadlebin? Like what we were doing right before we found the Hotel Broadlebin?
You were running.
And it's not like we saw a clock tower or something like that.
No clear no clear landmarks. It was very strange, almost schizophrenic, right? It looked like you were going through like a movie set or a sound stage, passing workers. Then it looks like you're in an alleyway, then a theater, running past stunned theater goers, and then a city with old-timey cars and old-timey cops chasing after you, until finally this like huge Art Deco monstrosity with the Hotel Broadalbin brightly lit on its front. Maybe not old-timey. Old-timey is probably disingenuous, but like 50s, 60s.
Right.
Wait, so it's... I'm sorry, I'm just confused because art nerd. So is it Art Deco or like from the 50s or 60s?
Well, so the vehicles weren't necessarily old-timey. They were more from the 50s or 60s.
Okay.
The construction
but
was
the building
definitely
itself
Art
was like
Deco.
20s Art Deco.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, I failed to give you any instructions after you studied the red book there, Cassie, or you started to read it. Did you read the whole thing? No, because Geneva stopped you. So never mind.
Y'all stopped me. But yes, I did peruse it.
Okay, I wouldn't say. I'd say you haven't had an opportunity to study it fully in depth yet. Okay.
Yeah, seeing as how I left it at the hotel, did I just
You didn't?
steal
No,
it?
it's in your back pocket. What are you talking about?
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
Hate that.
So now that this clockwork diorama has died down, and the play, for lack of a better term, has ceased, what does everybody do now? Mark, you had the mail, and Michael, you had briefly checked out this monstrosity in the corner that had started kind of whirring. It started whirring worryingly as you approached it, which kind of began to recede as you backed away. But looking at this thing, it's all greased steel pipes connected by iron flywheels, cogs, small gearboxes that protrude from what is otherwise a relatively thin silhouette. Its head, if you can even call it that, or at least the hub or heart, whatever, of this thing, is this square gearbox in the center of the structure. And at first glance, it looks like the innards of a giant inverted industrial umbrella without the cloth, or, I mean, for lack of a better term, a weapons grade hat rack. The bases of the poles end in small half moon steel tubes cut at an angle. This thing, it has to weigh 220 kilos. Easy.
Whoa. Yeah.
Which is 485 pounds for us American folks.
Yeah, I was about to say, that means nothing to me.
485 pounds. Mark, looking at this thing, can you roll int times 5 for me?
Sure. That is a 16% out of 90 success.
It looks a lot like that thing that you found sketched on a napkin in Abigail Wright's apartment.
Yeah. I was wondering.
What you remember based on the writing was known as the Lion.
Lion?
Yeah.
Right.
Leon in Portuguese.
And there was another figure as well.
The Scribe.
The Scribe, yeah. That the other one doesn't look like the Scribe, right?
No. This is something you've never seen or witnessed before.
And the napkin we figured out actually came from the restaurant that we first met Barbas in, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
And just so I can be clear, the one that he identified as looking like the lion is the one that I approached, or the one that produced the lifelike? Okay, cool.
Yeah, the one that produced the play is really just like this flat table hockey console painted black in the middle of the floor.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Mike will, after kind of taking a second to shit his pants about the weird robo play he just watched. I think the one in the corner does something as well. I'm not sure what it is, but when I approached it, it started to make a noise like it was doing something. Whine almost.
Yeah, Mark stands up and takes a closer look at the one in the corner. He says, "Oh, that's not like those machines. That is one of those machines. I saw a drawing of that before. Hang on. It came. I remember the napkins that the drawing was on. They came from that restaurant that Barbas lured us to in the beginning, the Gateway Bridges."
Okay, that makes sense. Do you know what it does?
If history's any predictor of future events, that thing kills people in a bad way.
Oh. And Michael takes a moment to think about how close he got to the machine.
You heard it like powering up?
I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what it sounded like. It started to whine a little, like something was... I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was called the Lion, that's right. Leon in Portuguese.
Why do you say that it would kill someone? What experience do you have with something like it?
Now, when I was first starting out, I went to a fraternity at a university, and the folks there had built something reminiscent of this. It went off, chopped them into bits, splayed them all over the place. That was my first introduction to all this.
Well,
maybe this one's friend. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it's probably best that we don't test it then.
Yeah. I mean, for all I know, this one could dispense lollipops, but I doubt it.
Wouldn't that be wild? You just approach it, and it's like a really loud whining noise, and all these gears and levers are moving, and 5 minutes later, just like a little mechanical hand with a lollipop pops out.
Jesus Christ.
Mark would still be like, "Don't eat it."
It's funny because I've gotten to the point now where I've had so many characters that I, Brett the player, just want to send Michael over to it so he can get just to see what will happen. And I'm like, oh, I'll just make another character after. And then I'll have the knowledge, even though Michael's dead.
While Mark and Michael are kind of commiserating over this mechanical beast, Geneva, Cassie, what are you doing?
I want to go find the bedroom and search that.
Okay.
I think she's gonna check out for a second from that.
Yeah, yeah. Cassandra's gonna do similarly. Similarly, she's gonna go and start to look around the house, just kind of going through spaces. She'll let Geneva take over the bedroom, but just maybe find his office to see if there's something there. Maybe go through she definitely wants to check the fridge.
Okay. So let's do this. Both of you make search rolls. Oh, nice. All right. Yeah, Cassie with a 5 out of 73 and Geneva with a 1 out of 70 critical success. We'll say, Cassie, do you start your search here in the living room, or I'm
going to start from the kitchen because of my own history with refrigerators, and I'm going to go ahead and check the refrigerator first to see if the food is there and if it's preserved like the other places I've checked.
Got it. Okay, so we'll start with you. As you go through the refrigerator, first and foremost, you notice that it is warm and empty, except for some condiments and a box of baking soda. It is clear that no one's eaten here in weeks. And there's no expired food stuff that is somehow still recently preserved. Purchased fresh or preserved. Yeah, no, it's all well expired and well rotten. And
how old do the appliances look like? How old does the fridge look? And if there's a washing machine, a dishwasher rather, or how old does that stuff look?
Like not like wicked old, like not something that would strike you as particularly unusual. Probably within the past decade or so. Like nothing.
Okay, so it's
nothing
not like
older.
antique stuff. Got it.
No. It's just obviously the power is off to this place. Hasn't been on in some time, and Barbas has not seen fit to bother himself with upkeep.
Is there cutlery or dishes anywhere?
Yeah, so there are dishes that were piled in the corner that were clean, but they've been smashed, and then silverware stacked in this dusty drawer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that maybe I have a knife so that I have something to defend myself in case I need it.
Yep, you have a steak knife.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll tuck that away, and then I'll just try to find an office or something like that.
What you do with that search roll, though, within taking about 10 minutes to kind of go through the rest of the kitchen, you find a cell phone taped to the upper part of a drawer. It looks like kind of one of those cheap prepaid flip phones that you can pretty much buy at any convenience store. It doesn't appear to be charged or have any power, but there is a symbol scratched into the plastic housing. What is your occult skill?
My occult skill is 54.
54. Jesus, how did you get Jesus Christ? You notice that this is the mark of Citri, a demon found in various demonologies, such as the Ars Goetia.
With that score, would I know what that devil is in charge of, or what their domain is?
With that, I would say make a roll.
Okay.
To see if you recall that.
Ooh.
49 out of 54. Yeah. Vaguely, you recall that Citri was a great prince of hell, caused men to love women and vice versa, can make people bare themselves naked if desired, had the face of a leopard, the wings of a griffin, but could change into a very beautiful person.
Okay, so like a demon of like seduction and desire.
Right.
Okay. And how old does the phone look? Like, what does the charger input look like? Is it like? Is it something that basically, if I asked one of the other party members if they maybe had a cell phone charger, would it match that, or would I have to go to like a convenience store to pick up one?
Oh no! You could they would either have one on hand, or you'd be able to go to a convenience store and buy one. This is a phone that it feels and looks new.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll pocket it for now and just keep looking.
Okay. Geneva, with your search, are you doing the living room at all, or are you just kind of combing through the rest?
Specifically wanted to look for the bedroom. Because I think the living room was where the big machine thingies were, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's gonna leave that room for those. So yeah, she's gonna go check out the bedroom, kind of looking for any sign that there's any sign of lived in or something that he might have left behind. And from there, maybe a quick sweep of the rest. See what she can find.
So you do find an abandoned back room that looks like it could have at one point been a guest room or like a first floor bedroom. That room and its closet have been cleared out. The floor is bare, and it appears if no one has really been in this room for a long time. On the way there, though, there is a ground floor bathroom, which is strangely untouched. Entering it, there's dust on the dark tile. There's a dozen mundane books stacked carefully in the sink. And yeah, it's weird, but apart from the books in the sink, it just looks like this room hasn't been used.
I want to take a closer look at the books, see if there's anything that stands out about them.
It would take you probably quite a while to go through them all, but nothing that stands out to you as being particularly unusual or strange. Like they're older books. Like you see some Kipling in there, you see some Borges, you see Poe, just a wide variety of authors from a wide variety of time periods.
Nancy Drew.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, like some Hardy Boys thrown in there for good measure.
Exactly.
Like it looks like they look like those really old hardbound books that didn't really have traditional covers. You know what I mean? Like what we.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Michael, and if you wanted to search anything else, you all would have to go to the second floor and make search rolls up there as well. Okay. But oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think for Michael, he is going to do a search of the living room to make sure that they didn't miss anything.
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll that beautiful search roll for me.
Come on, yeah.
Ooh, all right. What we get? 16 out of 60. Perfect. You keep a wide berth of this thing that Mark referred to as the lion.
I sure do.
You find there's smashed chunks of ceramics in a corner of the living room on these sheets of newspaper. No idea what it is. It looks maybe like it was some kind of mold at some point. It's really hard to tell.
That's not the first, because there's the plates too. So I'm going to keep that in the back of my head.
Okay. You kind of dig through the rest. Like, again, all of that just industrial, mechanical material just scattered throughout the floor of the living and dining room, all in various stages of disassembly. Toolboxes, old books, other items just scattered everywhere. You find this torn, oil-stained photocopy of a book called The Ars Goetia.
Okay. He will pick it up and flip through it briefly.
You do see that it looks like it was printed out from like the internet.
Okay.
And it looks like it's been marked up with notes. It's about 52 pages. It's covered in oil stains, pen marks, scribbled notes in blue ink, and then someone else is writing in a red felt tip pen.
Okay. He'll it's because it seems like it's been printed from the internet. It's soft enough to fold up and stick in his suit coat pocket. Okay, yeah. Sweet. Does Michael know what the Ars Goetia is?
No.
Okay. Can I read the first page and see if there's anything interesting on it before tucking it away?
Actually, what's your occult score at?
Not great. From what I can remember, 20. So yeah, actually pretty good.
Yeah. So you would know that the Ars Goetia, it's definitely it's the first book of the Lamagedon, the Lesser Key of Solomon, which was a grimoire that circulated sometime in the 17th century. And it was written by someone using the pseudonym King Solomon.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, it appears to contain an invocation and then the names and descriptions of 72 different demons.
Oh, so when he sees the demons.
Oh yeah, you know exactly who those are.
Yeah, okay. Does King Solomon give any of his brain demon thing a tickle?
No.
Okay. So he'll look at the very first name of the very first demon and get that kind of flash of, I know who this is, I know how to contact them, and I know where they are. And then almost jerk back from the book, snap it closed, take a couple of really deep, steadying breaths, fold it, and tuck it in a suit jacket pocket.
Yeah. Ronald Eamon Lewis, he's 24, Caucasian. You know how to get hold of him if you need to.
Huh.
What's Mark doing? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then he'll go to find someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark was on the couch in the living room, going through the mail, trying to piece together from it how long has it been, that sort of thing. Also, just generally looking through the mail to see if anything sticks out.
Love it. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll and make an accounting roll, and it's going to take you probably about 1 hour to go through everything.
Oh, okay. So that is a 46 out of 80.
46 out of 80. Beautiful. We'll say one of the first things you notice as you kind of go through this pile of mail, trying to build this timeline, the first thing you can tell is that it looks like the power and the water were both disconnected in August. And you also find letters from the police union that are indicating, show up to work or we're going to fire you for Barbas. But the other thing that stands out is this postcard. It's an old-looking postcard with a tinted photograph of a strange castle. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. Because there's a handout for that. That should be visible to everyone.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes.
And the back as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So it has no stamp or postmark. What's your history at, Mark?
Hold on. Probably not great. Yeah, just the standard 10%.
Okay. Do you want to make a roll?
Sure.
Go for it.
I will. Oh, that's a 95.
Yeah, 95 out of 10. Yeah, hard to tell what the architecture is or where this possibly could be.
Mm-hmm.
But on the back, you see, some letters are forward, some are backwards, some are upside down. You can make do you have anything in mathematics or SIGINT?
Oh, I don't know. No. Mathematics, no. Because, that would be something that you have to choose. But SIGINT, everybody automatically has something, right? Nope, I have a 0.
Okay. Yeah, no idea what that cipher could be.
I'm going to look more closely at this postcard, try to see, as we found with the invitation, if there's any kind of, false backing, anything like that. Basically doing a forensic analysis as I did before.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll forensics.
Okay. 31 out of 50.
31 out of 50. Perfect. Yeah. You check the seams of the postcard to see if, if it's like been pressed together with something sandwiched in the middle. Nothing. It is one solid piece of thick paper. And you don't, apart from, it looks like whatever this cipher is on the back, there's nothing really else that stands out about it. Nothing hidden in the imagery or in the material itself.
And appears to be something written on the front. Can I tell if that's part of the original? Or if that's been added.
That's essentially, that's all you can really tell, is you can see that something was written there, but you can't really make out what it is.
Okay, but it looks like it's not part of the original illustration. It's been written on top of it.
Right.
Okay. It kind of I don't know, June 8/11/26. Maybe.
Yeah.
But no, then June wouldn't make sense if it's 8/11/26.
Well, as you pour through that, Geneva and Cassie, are you heading upstairs?
Yes, for now.
Yep, Geneva is as well.
Okay. Both of you make search rolls. Ooh, 3 out of 73 for Cassie. 63 out of 70 for Geneva. Perfect. Cassie, what are you looking for?
Really just any trace of either Barbas himself or any indication of any past visitors here. Like maybe they left behind some other materials like instructions or letters or anything like that.
Got it. Okay. So with you head on up and you take the bedroom on the left, and we'll say, Geneva, you take the bedroom on the right. As you head up this staircase, kind of splitting the home in half. As you move into this left bedroom, You see it was a small bedroom that was maybe once used as a home office. It retains much of its furniture, but it looks like the legs were knocked off the cheap particle board desk in the middle of the room and the chair has been overturned. The desk itself sits on the ground among a sea of papers, half-open books, scrawled receipts, and diagrams. A strange machine, approximately the size of a water cooler, sits on the desk. It looks like a combination. It looks like a typewriter, a cotton gin, and a clock were all smashed together to form like a small, well-oiled machine. There are 2 hooks on the end of extendable limb-like shafts of lightweight metal. One hook holds a quill pen. A refillable ink pot is set into the machine's base, which opens with a mechanical latch. Yeah, if you had to guess, maybe the entire thing weighs 16 kilograms.
I'm an American.
Just times it by like 2.2,
which is which is about 35 pounds.
All right. Okay. As I get closer to it, does it start to whirl, whiz?
It does. Let me see. It does not. No.
Okay. Then I will approach it.
As you kind of dig through, we'll say as you dig through the rest of the... Are you just focusing on this for now, or are you going through the rest of the room?
I'm going through everything in the room.
Okay.
As much as I can.
Sorry, I had a smudge on my glasses I had to get rid of. Okay. So you notice that there is a like a paper hopper in its face, kind of like a printer that you could kind of press paper into. But as you go through the rest of the room, you find 4 half-printed, smeared, and misfolded invitations. Identical to the invitations you received to Operation India Moon, to the Gateway Bridges restaurant.
Are they addressed to anybody?
Yes.
Who are they addressed to?
You all. At the bottom of this pile is a cheat sheet. It's a single sheet of paper with small machine-like ink notes that have each of your home addresses and information on what you presume to be people close to them, including information on your son and your ex-husband.
Yeah.
I need you to roll sanity.
When you say you all, I just want to be sure, do you mean like the current party, or is the invitations for the people that showed up to the restaurant? So like Ira and Jenny.
Ira and Jenny are on there as well.
Okay, cool.
Including me and Michael? We're there too?
Well, first, Cassie, with a 30 out of 22, I need you to roll 1d4. You lose 1. Unless you want to project.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can do that.
Yep.
Just eating it. Yes, I will project. I'm going to project. I'm going to project onto Bradley Jr.
Okay. Yeah, so you roll your 1d4 willpower.
3.
So you lose 3 willpower, but you'll only mitigate the loss of that 1 willpower, that 1 sanity point.
Okay. And then I reduce his score by 1, right?
Yep.
Okay.
As you look through it, there's another cheat sheet kind of crumpled underneath it, and it has information for a Michael Witwer, a Geneva Brown, and a Roger Thelamus.
I'm going to spend some time with the ones on Michael and Geneva, just sitting on the floor looking at them, but also keeping the other ones close to me. And then after I read through the 2 of theirs information, I'll read over the ones on Roger.
Okay. Yeah, it's got information on people close to them.
Okay. Like
their
who?
addresses. So for Michael, we have Ophelia Citri, his fiance. Evelyn Witwer.
Did you say Ophelia Citri?
I did.
Okay.
Evelyn Witwer Grant, his mother. For Geneva, we have Tom Rollins, who appears to be an ex-fiance.
All right. And then what about Roger?
Roger has a wife and a child listed.
Okay.
While this is going on, Geneva,
Yeah.
since that's taking some time, during this time you would have searched through the other bedroom, which appears to be a somewhat used bedroom. It's bare apart from a half turned over futon, a splintered dresser that has been struck multiple times with probably a hatchet, piles of dirty clothing. There's a hibachi micro grill right next to the futon. There's a closet door that's been closed and the mirror on the outside of it has been completely smashed. And the wood floor is chipped with half moon marks as if from the edge of a metal file. With the way the futon is kind of pushed over, you see that there is a symbol etched into the floor underneath it. What's your occult at?
It is 30.
So you do recognize it as related to demonology, and so I'll give you the opportunity to make a roll.
Ooh, okay, fun. No.
Bummer. Yeah, with a 55 out of 30. You just can't place it.
So I want to check like the closet, and then you said there was like drawers and stuff that seemed like they were all hacked to bits. I just want to double check and see if there was maybe anything in there that, whether this was just like random chaos or if these things were particularly targeted by whatever this was.
Right. So it looks like the dresser has just been smashed by something thin and just blunt and sharp. Blunt and sharp are strictly exclusive. So something sharp has collided with this thing multiple times. It's really hard to tell what possibly could have done it. But looking at the hibachi grill, you find fragments of this like thick, fine brown vellum that have been partially burned. And digging through it, you find words like Aldene, Yades, Uhat, Yellow, Phantom of TRU, and I'll put those in the chat. And as you go through the closet, it's long and narrow, painted the same rust red as the exterior of the house. There are piles of old clothes on the ground and small, unremarkable empty boxes. Inside the closet, set into the wall opposite the door, is a tiny door. It's on the far side of these iron bars that have been embedded in a wall of cement blocks. And there's a mail slot that's set into the red door, which opens presumably into the space beyond. Looks like anything smaller than maybe 10 centimeters could be put through the bars. It's about 2 feet tall, maybe 1.6 feet wide.
So you said there were like metal bars. Does it look like it's keeping something out? Or in, I guess, technically?
That is hard to tell.
Gotcha. Does it, I mean, are there any like marks that would indicate that something has been trying to get out, maybe? Or is it just that there's that little mail slot and that's all there is?
That's all there is.
Can the door be opened, theoretically?
It can't. You can reach through. Yeah. And you reach an arm through and...
No. Okay. I don't yet. I just want theoretically, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if you wanted to reach an arm through, you could see if the door is locked and potentially open it.
I'm going to text Michael and ask him to come up here real quick for backup.
Okay. And yes, Cassandra, it's in the closet. Returning downstairs.
Just real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting there up there thinking about all the things that I found, when I was in the kitchen, there was no kind of food. There was no kind of condiments or anything like that other than what was in the fridge. So there wasn't like any salt or pepper or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Michael, or I'm sorry, Mark, as you continue going through the mail, the timeline you're able to build is that it looks like his deterioration began in early June and culminated with, him being terminated from his employment or being close to terminated. There's collection notices, past due notices, accounts being referred to collections agencies, the power and the water being disconnected, threats of foreclosure on the residence itself. This guy has clearly been in a downward spiral for some time.
But, June, we're thinking this guy's been part of this game for years and years.
Right.
Yeah.
But potentially. But June is when you notice that things appear to have taken a distinct turn.
Yeah. All right.
Michael, what are you doing?
I think once he's done copiously sweating about the book that he found, he is going to probably make his way over to Mark and just, hey, find anything?
Yeah. Mark holds up the postcard and says, what do you make of this? I don't know. Those buildings on the front almost look European. And you see these shadowy figures down at the bottom?
Yeah.
Does that remind you of those people we saw? Oh, no, wait, you weren't there.
What people?
When we were in the Dorchester House, there was this vision of like a medieval court.
Okay.
Handler, does this look like that? It reminds me of that.
Yeah, reminds you of it.
Okay. Yeah. What is this? Is this blood?
He'll lean down and take a closer look.
Could be. This thing looks old.
If it is, it's very old blood. It looks like it.
Huh. Do you know anything about art or architecture?
No. No, that's not really my purview.
Yeah, Jenny would have been the person to ask. I don't know. And you can see that Mark has taken out. Well, I guess no, he doesn't have pencil and paper anymore, does he? Can I get some pencil and paper? Is there some around?
Make a luck roll.
All right. Actually, there's paper. There's the, but
there's lots. Yeah, there's lots of.
Yeah, looking.
32 out of 50. You find like a broken half of a pencil with some of the lead still in it, or some of the graphite still in it, and like a piece of old newspaper you can start scribbling on.
All right. Yeah, Mark has started writing letters and symbols down on some paper and is making like a matrix.
Okay.
I don't know. Obviously they wrote something here, but it appears to be encoded.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, maybe Cassie or Geneva will have an idea. Anyway, he, yeah, I suppose you folks already knew this, that Barbas kind of went through a rapid decline, starting in June.
Yes. Yeah. Although, from what we understand, It may have started quite a bit before then.
Yeah, but that's when, he stopped paying his bills and showing up for work and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what I've got. I wonder what the girls are up to upstairs.
Let's go find out.
And of course, you feel your phone vibrate in your pocket, Michael.
Michael will take it out and look at it.
It's probably a picture of the little door she sees in the closet.
With 2 poop emojis.
Sad face.
Poop emoji, sad face. Michael will send back LOL.
Good luck.
No.
GG.
No, he'll go, yeah, we should go. I think Geneva found something.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just all right.
Cassie, are you looking through other stuff while you're up there?
Yeah, if I have the time, yeah.
You do, yeah. So for you, the only other thing that stands out that you find is, you find a page folded and ripped, but it seems to contain passages of the King in Yellow.
Ooh. What does it say?
It's like page 11. No man can say when one ends or t'other begins. Page 49. Away, you pale demon, look not on our lives measured only by your profit. Page 110. The clock has struck and now it is time. Unmask, unmask. Page 115. And none shall walk or move or scream, for this place is gone beyond time and tide and reckoning, into the gray places where our dreams go. There, finding nothing, to die.
She'll sit there with the pages in her hand, in one hand, and the invitations in the other. And she'll stuff the invitations into her pocket, her jacket pocket, and just continue to go over these. And then as soon as she starts to hear the others coming up the steps, she'll fold those up and stick those into her pocket as well. And then before she leaves, she's going to look at the pen that's on this strange machination.
Okay.
Is there any kind of, is it monogrammed? Is it anything about it that seems remarkable?
No, not really. Just kind of like a standard kind of quill pen.
Okay. She'll very carefully take it.
Okay.
And pocket it. There's no reaction from the machine?
Nope.
Okay. Then yeah, she will pocket that and start to head to intercept the other 2 men.
On your way out, you do notice that there is a box in the corner containing 6 blank red leather-covered notebooks.
She'll stop and look down and go through them.
They're blank.
So there's nothing, there's no names, there's nothing on them?
Nope.
Okay.
But they look a lot like the one in your back pocket.
Oh, like the play?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She will take out 3. And as she's coming out of the room, the guys would see that she's holding these in her hand. Did you find anything?
Mark holds up those postcard.
Does the imagery look familiar?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, from the murals that you saw painted in Skid Row.
Oh. Cool. That sends a shudder down her spine. And Mark would see that visibly upset her for just a brief moment.
What is it, Cassie?
The image, the on the postcard. It's just it's that mural that I've talked about.
But that was in LA, wasn't it?
Yes.
Huh.
The one that I found in Skid Row. before all this started. The one that I found in that first responder's apartment.
I mean, is it the same or it just looks like it?
Is it the same or does it just look like it?
Similar.
It's not the same. It's just similar. Possibly the same artist, or perhaps they were aping that artist's style.
I feel like there's just a lot of things going on in this. The more I look at it, I mean, so it looks like there's a scene of buildings, and then there's water beneath, and then there's reflections of the buildings in the water, but the buildings in the water aren't actually reflections of what's above. It don't make no sense.
Michael, what are you doing while they're having this conversation?
Listening intently to them.
Got it. Okay.
This isn't a reflection. It's a continuation.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt you, but what are you talking about?
The artwork on this postcard, it's meant to look like a cityscape reflected in water, except it's not. If you look at the line work, it follows into the water itself. There are people under there.
Okay. That's actually a really good catch. What do you think it means?
I don't know. So, I mean, that this whole thing is about revealing the unseen. Do either of you have a phone charger on you?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I would. Yeah, like we had our cell phones, but you don't really carry one around in your pocket normally.
I mean, well, Geneva, we checked out, I thought. So, at least Geneva and I did.
Right.
Yeah.
But when they found themselves in the hotel, they had.
Oh, okay, got you. All right,
that's what I mean. Like we didn't really have much stuff with us.
All right, no, ignore me.
Although, like, I did go to a corner store to buy a pack of cigarettes. Maybe he probably wouldn't have thought of it.
No,
it's fine.
No.
It's totally fine. No, that makes sense that you wouldn't have one. Where's Geneva at?
I'm not sure, but I think she found something. Let's go find her.
And you all do notice that Cassie has these 3 red notebooks in her hand.
Do you really need more than one of those?
No, they're for you. And she extends 2 of them towards Michael and Mark.
I'm good.
There's
Thanks.
nothing in them. They're blank.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, this looks exactly like the red book that Cassie has, right?
Right, just no symbol in the front.
Yeah. Mark says, maybe we should just leave him here.
And Cassie nods and just tosses them into the box, into the room, and we'll follow those 2.
Geneva, it takes them a little bit, but what are you? Do you do anything during that time?
I don't think so. She doesn't want to do anything to the door while she's alone because who knows what'll happen.
Right.
So if there's nothing else in the room that catches her eye, she'll just wait.
Okay. Yeah, eventually the others kind of step inside, and Michael, your eyes are immediately drawn to that symbol on the floor. Presumably, Geneva, I'm guessing you would have moved the futon to get a better look at it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I would have. I guess and I wouldn't say anything beforehand because I don't know that she would make the connection that could potentially trigger something in him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You look down, Michael, and you recognize that symbol.
Which is Cassandra.
I'm sorry. Did I say Cassie or Michael?
You said Michael.
Okay. Sorry. Well, both really.
And what is this? Oh, sorry. What does the symbol do again?
So it's for. Well, do you recognize the symbols? Have you been recognizing the symbols or just the names?
I think that's kind of up to interpretation. Like, if it has something to do with summoning a demon or contacting a demon,
Yeah.
I think he might recognize it. But other than that, maybe not, unless the symbol itself is a representation of a name of a demon. And then I would think that would maybe fall within his purview.
Got it. So I will say, Cassie, with yours, you know that belongs to, it is associated demonology, but you'll need to make an occult roll to see if you can identify specifically with who. Same with you, Michael.
Okay, sure.
So 16 out of 54 for Cassie.
I am not going to succeed this.
90 out of 20.
And wonderfully failed.
Can't quite place it, and you haven't really had an opportunity to study the Ars Goetia yet to tie specific seals to specific demons.
Okay.
But Cassie, you do recognize that symbol is associated with Barbas.
Okay. And do I know, with that 16, do I know anything about his domain?
Let me check. So yeah, Barbas, you know, is described as a great president of hell, governing 30 or so legions of demons. Answers true on subjects hidden or secret, causes or heals diseases, teaches the mechanical arts, and changes men into other shapes.
Mechanical arts, you say? All right.
He's depicted as a lion that, under the conjurer's request, can change its shape into a man.
Oh, a lion. Interesting.
All right.
Leon.
I'm going to keep that to myself for right now.
Also, maybe we should ask him if he can fix Mark's, body.
Yeah.
That's gotta go well.
Yeah, that would be fine.
He'd be probably fine with that.
But yeah, you step in and do you see Geneva kind of standing in the doorway of this closet?
What'd you find?
There's a little door in here.
How
with
little?
Mail. About 2 feet, maybe? Little mail slot. And I kind of step aside so the others can take a look if they so choose.
There it is. Little red door.
And it's like how little?
About 2 feet tall, a little over 1.5 feet wide.
Michael kind of doesn't approach too closely. He's more like peeking over other people's shoulders to look at it.
We're going to have to open that at some point.
What makes you say that?
Cassandra doesn't acknowledge that question. She just keeps looking at the door, and then her eyes follow back down to the floor. And then they look up at Michael. Before we go, who is Ophelia?
How did you hear that name?
I found something in his office. I found names that are important to at least myself, and from what I know of Mark, they're important to him, but I also found other names. I think they belong to you and to Geneva.
I want to human her. I want to see if she's trying to fuck with Michael right.
Go for it.
I don't know. It seems weird the way that she seems to bring that up. So, human.
I was really worried you were going to say the name of the demon on the floor, because the last time
I know, I was too.
said demon names, Michael was like, if you fucking do that one more time, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, 19 out of 62. Cassie, are you trying to be...
Yeah, so, her motivation is not... her motivation is she's questioning Michael in... she's not trying to trap him in anything. It's not like Emily, who's trying to be malicious and try to twist the questions to weaponize them. She's genuinely curious and wants to know what he says, but it's also, there is something behind what she's at, why she's at. There's a motivation why she's asking it.
Michael will look at Geneva with a real... I guess he looks scared, but he also looks very serious, quite intense. That's none of your business, Cassandra.
We're in this together, and I think some amount of transparency is important. And
Whoever-
Really? Is that what you think? Some amount of transparency? You've been super clear about everything so far with us.
I've been
So
as clear as I can be.
Okay.
And with that, Cassandra will pull out the invitations that are marked with Geneva and Michael's information, and we'll just show them to both of them.
To be clear, we should not be asking questions, or we should not be being told anything about each other's personal lives. Beyond all of this, that's just not protocol.
Michael, I have another question for you.
My hand is on my gun.
Yeah, Michael puts his hand on his gun as well. What?
And with that, she starts to take out the cell phone. I found this down in the kitchen. Does this symbol look familiar to you?
The symbol doesn't, Michael, but that's the phone that you bought to call Ophelia while you were on this operation.
Give me that phone.
Citri, I need to speak to you.
Gun is out. Gun is out.
You know that you would need that as soon as you hear that name, you need to call Ophelia.
I need to call Ophelia?
That's who you would call, if that's who he wants to talk to.
So when he says Citri, I get that flood of information.
When she says Citri?
Yep.
Citri, sorry. When she says Citri, I get that flood of information.
Yep.
Okay. So his body will still again. And then he'll look at Cassandra and go, would you like to speak to her?
No, that is
Yes.
enough. Cassandra, I am giving you one last warning, and my gun is aimed at her.
I'm not doing this to hurt him. I'm not doing this to hurt any of us, but he is connected to this entity, this demon.
You are going to stop immediately, or I will shoot you.
Please, you have to trust me. I'm not trying
I
to hurt
do
you.
not trust you.
I don't care if you don't trust me. Just know that I'm not trying to hurt him or you. But
And Michael
Citri, I need to speak to you.
Shake himself off and pull his gun and aim it at Cassandra. And pull the trigger.
What?
It was you.
Wait, are you shooting?
I think... I mean, like, okay, so he said last time, if you do this to me again, I'm going to shoot you.
Yes.
I mean, but you don't technically have to follow through on threats. What's Mark doing?
I think, Mark is watching this whole thing, but honestly, I thought that, I was thinking that Geneva was the one who was gonna do something, so he's probably edging closer to Geneva.
I am
was
so
close.
sorry.
I was close.
Yeah.
Can I just say that though, that like even without a human's role, she does not look like she's trying to. She's pleading and like she looks very desperate right now, and not in like a desperate to survive, but a desperate to convince you that she's not trying to hurt anyone.
She knew what the consequences of her actions would be.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, putting it out there.
Yeah, and I will say too, like Geneva doesn't look like she looks sorry, but also, even though she doesn't have time to like really explain it, that whatever she's doing is too risky to be allowed to continue. She doesn't want to shoot Cassandra, but there's way too much of a liability and risk that's going to be happening here. So that was her motivation. But Michael did it first, so it's
Okay.
not on her conscience.
So, roll firearms, and Cassie will have an opportunity
God.
to roll dodge.
Okay, so he shakes himself off. He looks at Cassandra and he looks furious. And then he'll pull his gun and pull the trigger. Oh, Vince, I'm sorry.
Are you?
It is what it is.
Would there be an opportunity for Mark to do anything, or not really?
I would allow for that for sure.
What's your dexterity?
Oh, yeah, that's what my ex dexterity is an 8.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Nope. Okay.
Waiting on that firearms roll.
Yeah, I input it. It's just not.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I clicked it. It's just not showing up.
Oh, check to see if it's asking for a modifier.
It did ask for that, and I went past that, and it's not doing it still.
Okay.
Must be the demons.
It doesn't have a skill value in there for whatever reason. So I'll just input my firearm skill and then
just
hit it
roll.
again.
Yeah, there you
go. Okay, so no, it's not working. I'll just click firearms and then we can roll the.
Well, yeah. Scroll down to your weapons, and then you'll see medium pistol, and then there should be a little dice icon all the way on the right.
Yeah, that's what I've been clicking.
Oh, it's not doing it? Okay, yeah, just click firearms.
Yeah, I click it, and then it asks for input value, and I hit submit, and then it just doesn't show up for whatever reason.
Got it.
But I'll do firearms instead.
Yeah, do firearms.
Oh, a failure.
Okay, 86 out of 70. Shit. Yeah, whether it's the stress or the shock at hearing this name Citri, and then the almost unconscious connection to Ophelia, you jerk the trigger and the round goes wide, and all of a sudden just this gunshot is reverberating off the walls around you. You all instinctively reach up to grip your ears as your eardrums are just about blown out by the sound of this gunshot. And Cassie, you almost feel this bullet rip through the air past you, just inches from ending your life. And as the space fills with the smell of spent gunpowder, what do you do?
I'm sorry. And she starts to gather her composure and takes her hands off her ears, letting the ringing just do its thing in her ears. She looks back up at Michael, again with that same apologetic, pleading expression. I'm sorry, but Ophelia...
Can I try to knock her out?
If you'd like to.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, you've got, like, a combat round, because it's not like Michael's firing one shot at you, missing, and then ceasing to do anything. He's going to keep firing at you. His intent is to kill you.
Okay, let me get everybody's dexterity.
I'd like to...
Man, that one Twitter guy is going to be so mad about this, Vince.
Yeah.
All right, so Cassie, you're up first with a 13. What do you want to do?
All right, so I'm gonna, and I don't know if I would just need to use human to try and to negotiate myself out of this, or to at least calm him down to assure him that I wasn't trying to hurt him. I can roll persuade if you like. I can use my action for that.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be entirely on Brett if the argument is going to hold any water with Michael at this point.
Yeah, like he's not like a murder crazy or whatever, but I think maybe if you put your hands in the air or like got down on your knees
she's absolutely
or something.
doing that. Yeah, she's gonna absolutely do that. She's like,
okay, well then he's not gonna. I don't know. He probably wouldn't keep firing them.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, she's like apologetic. Yeah. She's like, she took her hands off her ears and is like backing away with her hands in her like up to the sides of her face, just trying to show that she's not trying to be a threat.
Okay, he'll look to Geneva, and his hand is visibly shaking, the one that's holding the gun.
I mean, we haven't gotten confirmation that, because Cassie is sorry, but we haven't had confirmation she's going to stop. So I think Geneva is still going to try to knock her out just to, okay, we won't kill her, but we need to stop whatever she is about to try to do.
How are you, how are you playing, like choking her out? You going to hit her on the back of the head? What's your approach?
I think hit her on the back of the head, like with the butt of the gun or something.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Hopefully it knocks her out and I don't just like beat the shit out of her and she's still up and around. But
well, can I just, because it's still my turn, I think, can I just roll persuade just see if it modifies anything?
Sure. Right. Yeah, 14 out of 50.
Is that directed to me or Michael or both?
Just anyone. I'm successful in trying to persuade. Whether or not it's not a complete success because you still want to hit me, but I'm just trying to see if there's a modifier to
I'll say as far as the modifier goes, I'll add a 20% difficulty to Michael's next shot attempt if he takes it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say maybe that persuade made it so that she's not Geneva isn't actively shooting, but is instead just trying to knock her out.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and roll melee then, Geneva.
Oh, it's melee?
Yep.
I was hoping. Oh, I guess that makes sense if it's not unarmed. Shoot, I'm not great with melee.
Do you want to swip it up then? Try to choke her out?
Oh, that seems so. I guess, okay, if I were to just, cause I don't really want to like choke her, I don't know, that seems like worse somehow. Can I just try to grapple her, I guess, then, and like cover her mouth so that she can't keep talking?
Sure. Yeah. Roll unarmed.
Okay. Dang it! I was so high and I still failed.
94 out of 80. Yeah. It's Cassie kind of looks over her shoulder at the last minute as you come up behind her, and she scoots back a little more, not taking any sort of aggressive action against either of you, hands still in the air, but just puts a little more distance in between you and her. Michael, you're back up.
Did Mark?
Oh wait.
Mark's bottom of the list.
I told you what I would do.
Please, I'm not trying to hurt you.
I don't give a shit what you're trying to do, Cassandra. You're fucking insane. I told you not to do that again.
You are more connected to this than you think. Your wife is more connected to this than you think. Her last name is the name of one of these devils, of one of these things that we keep finding the sigils of. That demon that she's named after, or that took on a new name for you. It's a hypnotizer. It's meant to manipulate and to partner. It's a demon of desire, of deception. It controls people. It's not a coincidence that your wife is, in your devotion to her.
You don't know anything about my wife or my devotion to her or me.
Have you not been
You
paying
don't know
attention to anything about
anything.
Mark, what are you doing?
Mark is going to attempt to disarm Geneva.
Okay, roll unarmed.
Okay. That's a 31%.
Yeah,
Do
31.
I
You don't,
roll
because you
as
already took
well?
your turn.
Gotcha. Okay. Wasn't sure if. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you wanted to hold it for the next go, that would have been, you could have, if you had held your action, you would have had the opportunity to dodge. But since you already attempted to
Gotcha.
grapple, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, with a 31 out of 66, Mark, you come up with your hand underneath the barrel of Geneva's gun and you rip it out of her grip.
And I pointed at Michael.
I'll wait until my turn.
And I'd say, put the gun down. Lower your gun.
No.
Cassie, you're up.
I'm going to continue to try and persuade to diffuse and to at least like get Michael to hear me with a less aggression in his head. Try to like see what I'm saying in more of a clear state of mind.
Yeah. Do you want to try to role play that out, or do you just want to make the roll?
It's up to you.
Go,
can do either.
Por qué no los dos? Let's do both.
Okay.
So give me a couple of sentences and then make a roll.
All right. You have to have seen everything that's happening here, everything that we've experienced, everything that he and I have experienced, everything that you two have experienced separate from us. None of this is coincidence. The fact that your wife is named after a demon, the fact that I find your phone with her sigil on it, the fact that I find this information, these pamphlets, these pages. Nothing here is coincidence. We are all in this together. I don't want to hurt you, but we need answers.
All right, roll persuade.
Oh.
Oh, 93 out of 50. Okay, yep. Geneva, you're up. You've just had your weapon ripped out of your hands.
I'm going to step in between Mark and Michael so that I'm in the direct line of fire. My hands are up, but like my face is like dead serious. And she's
maintaining eye contact with Mark and responding to Cassandra saying, there's a better fucking way to bring this up than triggering whatever sort of possession that was. You don't get to do that without his consent. And then I don't know if I have to roll if it's a dodge or what, but basically if Mark tries to like fire that gun, I want to try to stop him. I want to try to divert the gun or take it from him or something. I won't do it now because I don't want to like escalate things further, but if he tries, I want to try and combat it.
Got it. Okay. So you'll hold your action for unarmed combat if you see Mark taking kind of any hostile act.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Michael, you are up.
Yes. That was not very convincing.
I will just say, with as tight as these quarters are, with everybody kind of being in the same general area at this point, if you miss, you are going to hit somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I didn't take another shot.
Yeah.
Like part of the reason why he didn't take another shot at Cassandra is because Geneva got up in the mix with her.
Right. Yeah, there's a very good chance, like with Geneva putting herself in between you and Mark, if you miss, there's a very good chance you could blow her brains out.
But what if I like trick shot it off a lampshade?
Like what? Yeah.
If you throw out a coin and then hit the coin.
If you try to curve it like in that Wanted movie, yeah,
like James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man, this is Delta Green. All bets are off. So
yeah. Nothing that you're doing, Cassandra, is making it better, and I have no idea why you think that we would listen to you. Mark, you're not helping. If you put the gun down, then I will too. And I will hold my action. If Mark puts the gun down, I will put my gun down. If he doesn't, I'm going to try and shoot him.
Mark, what do you do?
Mark's going to put the gun down. He says, all right, but you got a gun? I got a gun. Nobody's getting shot. Unless it's Barbas.
Somebody roll alertness. Actually, Cassie, since you're next up, roll alertness for me.
We did fire a gun in a residential neighborhood.
I know. I was like, we're going to have to crawl through that fucking door now.
57 out of 51. Yep, okay. All right, Cassie, you're up.
This is a small residential neighborhood. You've just fired a gun. We're wanted. They're going to be coming for us soon. I need you to know that I didn't do what I did out of malice, and I apologize that I just did it. But we're desperate here. We just need answers, and we are the only 4 here who are going to be able to find those. No one else.
I don't give a shit why you did it, and I don't forgive you. I missed. That's what happened. And I need you to know that.
That's fine. I'm not asking for forgiveness. Just understanding.
Geneva, what are you doing?
Now that Cassandra has brought it up, pausing to listen for like sirens or anything.
Roll alertness.
I mean, if there's like a 2-minute response time, I'm going to be absolutely sure.
I mean, this is an affluent neighborhood, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
It ain't the ghetto.
And every now and again, cop cars are nearby, so.
18 out of 74, yep. Yeah, you hear sirens.
All right, pack it up. Let's get out. We can argue about this later. And she like puts her arms down and starts to walk out. She's not getting caught. If you guys want to come, go for it.
Michael, you're up.
He will holster his weapon, and I think just follow Geneva. But he does shoot an incredibly dirty look over his shoulder when he leaves.
Mark.
Mark should still have his holster, right? Because
yeah,
he gave up his gun, but not his clothes.
Correct.
So, yep, he'll holster his weapon as well.
Okay.
Put his hand on Cassie's shoulder and say, "Let's get out of here."
Thank you.
Where are y'all going?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if
going through the red door.
Sirens sound really, really close. Then leaving the house through a regular exit is a bad idea.
Right.
How close do they sound?
Yeah. How close do they sound?
Roll another alertness. 50 out of 74. You don't hear them anymore, but you see blue and red coming through the edges of the curtains.
God damn. Okay. I mean, we can't fit through the door, so we can't go through the little red door. That's not even an option.
Yeah, we could scooch through. It's a foot and a half wide and 2 feet tall.
There's bars.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I guess we're killing some police officers.
No, shit.
We'll just break our bones and squish between the bars. It's fine.
I mean, with the way that the house in the neighborhood is there like either the back or the side door that we could theoretically just like bolt into the woods?
No woods to bolt into. No.
Okay,
Maybe we don't hide. Maybe we don't run. Maybe we just hide. I don't know.
Here's my plan. Everybody get ready for it. We create a big sign that says I'm hiding behind here, and we point it towards the chop up machine so that they walk towards it.
Oh shit, that's a good point. That
Ooh.
if the police come in here, they're oh damn it.
Yeah, someone's gonna get chopped up.
I don't know if this is an out of character question or what, but I'm assuming that would be very bad in terms of Delta Green protocol to just leave something like that here for just a random police officer to find and encounter.
Especially at this point. Because you know they're coming in.
Yeah. God damn it. All right. Geneva like looks at the back door, then she like looks into the living room and sees those things, and you can Michael, who knows her well, can probably see that realization coming over her, and she just gives him a look like, God fucking damn.
He gives her a little shrug of his shoulders.
There is a crash as the front door is kicked in. And you see...
Drop your gun. I tell Michael super quick to like put his gun somewhere so it's not even on him.
You see 2 uniformed Boston Police Department officers in the doorway, guns drawn, and you can see the look of surprise pass over their faces. Suddenly they see 4 people standing right in front of them, and immediately they begin shouting commands for you to get on the fucking ground.
I do exactly that.
Yeah, Cassandra complies.
Yeah, Michael follows Geneva's lead in all things. He is going...
So the red door was barred, you said?
It was barred, correct.
Mark's going through the door.
Sliding through.
So there's, I mean, by barred you mean like there's a thing we have to remove to open it, or?
Like there's literally a cement wall and bars in front of the door.
Okay. Yeah. Like, get down on the ground.
Okay. You all are handcuffed, placed into the back of patrol vehicles, and that is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh no.
Thank you for listening to Delta Green Impossible Landscapes, part of the Black Project Gaming podcast. If you like what you heard, please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, and be sure to visit blackprojectgaming.com for previous Delta Green episodes. You can also listen to our ongoing Waterdeep Dragon Heist and Barovia, California campaigns. If you'd like updates on all future releases, please follow us on Twitter or Facebook. Until next time, I'm Vince, your host and handler, with Brett as DEA Special Agent Michael Witwer, also known as Agent Vega, Cami as FBI Special Agent Geneva Brown, also known as Agent Venus, Doug as FBI Special Agent Mark Hansom, also known as Agent Meshach, and Jack as FBI Special Agent Cassandra Troy, also known as Agent Madison. Thank you again, and remember, we'll be seeing you.